Found out it's easier to line up at 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always been doing 3.
Trial and error.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Still one of these times I'd like to see you break into about 10 or 12, like the Brubaker.
Yeah, like the
or
slow
the
clap.
Hoosiers. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Just get quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that at the end.
Okay.
Oh, man. So, Bastards of Bourbon, finally, we're back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to take vacations anymore.
We're going to have to time it up better next year, that's for sure.
Yeah. We were going to try to do an online one, but the AC went out at the house, and it was like the hottest days. It was going to be me, Manny, and you. But it was the hottest days of the summer, and it was like 90 degrees in the house. Yeah. I was laying on my bed in basketball shorts, just under the fan.
I remember the text, and I was like, I have to say, I was definitely disappointed. So I figured out an area where I could do it in the condo we were in. I had probably about this amount of bourbon lined up behind me.
Yeah.
8 bourbons. I had a table set up.
Man, you were really ready.
I had the laptop out, the chair.
I feel terrible. I'll tell you what. Next time you do go on vacation, we'll actually try to get you a travel kit.
Okay.
Because I have another microphone you could even take, so you would have a little better sound quality.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Now, and Pam's feeling on it was probably a really good thing. Because, of course, we were at the beach during the day. There were a few drinks to be had.
Yeah.
So it could have turned south very fast.
Yeah, but we do that.
Right. That's when we're at our best.
Yeah. Bastards of Bourbon.
Yes.
Not gentlemen of bourbon. Oh, man. So we decided that the first one back, it was going to be just me and Steve, and we were going to try all bottom shelf bourbon.
That's right. Under the litmus here is 25 and under. Now we will get into a few that are slightly above it, but only slightly.
Yeah, we felt we needed to get some more in there and some stuff that we thought may or may not be more tolerable to our palate.
Exactly.
So, but I am actually excited for this one.
I am too, because here's the thing. This, to me, would be a bourbon podcast that's going to appeal the most to beginning bourbon drinkers.
Yeah.
Who maybe don't want to float out $50 or $60 for some of the really good stuff we've been drinking.
Right.
And I firmly believe, now I've tried a couple of these, not all of them, that there's going to be a few diamonds in the rough here.
Yeah.
That we're going to be like, listen, I'll put this up against.
Right. Well, we know everybody that's ever watched one of our episodes knows there's one on the table that I will say that for benchmark.
That's right. And at what, $10.99? 10?
Yeah. $10.99 being?
$9.99.
$9.99?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm for that.
But I'm interested to put that up against some of these other ones because
I agree.
When I first had it, when you gave it to me, I liked it, but I don't know that I liked it as much as you did.
Yeah.
So
I think I always come over the top on it because it's not like it's like my favorite bourbon. It's just for $9.99. It's got a nice sweetness, a nice smoothness. I rave about it because I just can't believe it's $9.99.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So now, did you have anything? I know you had that old tub, obviously, which is going to round out the tasting.
Yes.
But did you try anything else good while you were out of town?
So I had a Blade and Bow. I was talking to Bean about this earlier today. I was a little disappointed in it. I believe it was around 59.
Yeah.
They do the keys on it. It's
right.
a really cool bottle. They do 5 different keys. That has a different number on them, so it's a collector's thing. But it didn't have the depth or the complexity that I would expect out of a bourbon that costs that much.
Now, did you try the one that, you know what, something I should bring up real quick? Hey, guys, in case you didn't notice, this is a makeshift studio.
Yes. It's a little different atmosphere, but it's one that I'm growing to love very quickly.
Yeah. I had to move, and the place that we're going to put the studio in, it's just not done yet, and it'll take a little bit of time. So for now, it'll be in the dining room, which isn't much different than a living room, except this room is much smaller.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of like the TV being this close to us.
I do, too.
Yeah. But sorry, so did you try BJ's Blade and Bow?
I didn't try his, so I believe he has the 5.
Okay.
Now he has 3 of them because I brought him one back.
Okay.
Because when I told him I found the 3, he's like, I need the 3. He had like the 1 and the 5 or the 2 and the 5. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And so they're each different flavor profiles.
Yeah, because the one he had, I don't remember which one it was, but I did enjoy that one. But I also only tried it that day we were at the golf course. So I probably liked just about anything at that point because
Sure.
I was not in my right mind.
In my understanding, and Bean might know more on it, but it's just different staves they use for those two, and that's the different numbers.
I think so, yeah.
Also, Bean is doing the behind the scenes today.
If you wonder where that voice came from.
This is just all very different. But yeah, it's I liked that blade and bow, so I wanted to get my hands on that particular one. I don't care as much about getting the keys and stuff because it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be like if you got all the keys, you got a free tour, and I don't think they do that anymore. Well, especially during COVID, they're probably not doing that.
Yeah.
Damn COVID.
And the other one that I had down there that I bought, and I didn't bring it because I think the cost on it was going to be too high, is the Redemption Rye. And I believe it was somewhere in the mid-30s, lower to mid-30s.
Yeah, they have a couple of different ryes, but I think rye is what they're known for. If I remember correctly, even this Redemption Bourbon we have in this has a high rye bill. 21% rye. I'm not sure if that's high or not, but it's. But anyway, I guess should we run through this lineup?
Sure.
So on my side, I have Ancient Age. Very exciting stuff.
Yes. And no, it's not the plastic bottle.
Yeah. Then we have Benchmark 8, which we all know I love. Then we have Redemption Bourbon, and then Evan Williams Single Barrel.
Yes, which I'm excited about because I've never had it. I've had Evan Williams back in the day.
Yeah. And we have a friend who raves about it.
But we can get into that later in more detail. Then we have Larceny by Heaven Hill Distillery. Sazerac Rye, pretty excited about that one. Old Granddad Bonded, 100 proof, obviously. And then what we believe might be a really good find now is Old Tub, which was a re-release by Jim Beam, and really a re-release to a 750 size bottle. Beam found out earlier, reminded me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I remember reading that too, that they still made this after 1943, but it was only in pint-sized bottles that they only sold at their gift shop.
Okay.
So that's the only way you could get it. So they never stopped making it, which is
Right.
what I thought originally. They just stopped making it. Now they're coming out with it again.
They had it. They just weren't selling it to the masses.
Yeah. And they're touting it as a limited release. And I guess only, what'd you say earlier, 5?
Yeah, I do believe it's 5.
Yeah. 5 liquor stores in Ohio.
Okay.
Got it. I was fortunate enough to find it in South Carolina, and they had 4 bottles, and I got all 4 bottles.
You actually, if I remember correctly, you bought one, decided that it was well worth the price, and went back and bought them all.
Yes.
Hey, Pam, can you toss me a lighter? Do you see mine over there? It might be on one of those tables. The peanut gallery is also a lot smaller. Do you see it? There's also 2 tables back by what used to be a fireplace, I'm assuming. Okay, awesome.
So let's get that Ancient Age cracked.
Yeah, I need a cigarette, so I usually don't smoke during the tastings, but I'm doing it this time. You can't stop me.
You've had a long day.
You can't stop me, Shmee. What is that, Hook? I am doing, that was way too much. I'm going to be doing Steve pours. I don't even know where the measuring cup is. Oh, man, we don't have the water. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show the bottle.
There you go.
And we have lined these bottles up strategically. They are by lower proof to highest proof. So Ancient Age is 80 proof. I believe it. They started making it in 1946. Of course, is made by Buffalo Trace Distillery. At one time, that distillery was actually known as Ancient Age. And if you've listened to any previous podcasts, you've heard the story about the large water tower, pretty famous water tower there at the distillery. Has a big buffalo on it. It's really cool. Well, prior to that, when it was Ancient Age, it just had AA on it. And I think they realized that that was probably a pretty big mistake.
Have a meeting and get a drink.
Right. Why are all these people coming in here asking about meetings? So I'm going to give it a smell.
All right, sorry I abandoned you. I can't find the droppers, so we just got these.
We can use caps.
Yeah. All
Just
right.
don't do it Jeff size pour.
Yeah, just don't do what Jeff did. I had the blue one out somewhere too. I don't know what the fuck I did with it. All right, so the smell.
I get some obvious caramel,
Yeah.
a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah. I was going to say, try to use, we seem to like, was it Flaviar for the tasting notes?
I think so.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Bean? I do get some caramel. It actually doesn't have a terrible nose.
Not at all. Of course, on their site, they call it simple yet smooth.
We'll find out. It's really not bad.
I don't know if it's because my expectations were so low. If it tasted like caramel water, it was going to exceed those expectations.
Right. I don't get the bitter, honestly, at all. I definitely get the caramel. I don't get sour. I get a little rye.
Definitely.
I feel like I get a little leather, to be honest.
Yeah. It's actually got a longer finish than I would have ever expected.
Yeah, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It is smooth.
Yeah.
It's not boozy. Namiria. Go on. It's actually smooth. Wow.
And I'll tell you what else I like out of it. And it's not up here, but it's definitely in it. Is I get some toffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fuck Buffalo Trace. Do you fuck anything up?
I don't think so.
I'm just really surprised by
I'm going to
this.
put a little bit of water. Gently.
Easy now, Tiger.
Gentle. That tiger's gentle.
Did that bring out ginger on the nose? Is that what that is?
The ginger.
You can pick up the peanut gallery really well
Yeah,
in this studio.
Right.
So something really interesting about Buffalo Trace is they use level 4 char, which is 55-second burn, and everything less than barrel proof is barreled at 125 proof.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. That's it.
And level 5 is the highest char, right?
I
Or is
think
it
they
go-
go higher than that. I'm not sure.
Wow, you did get heavy with your pour.
Yeah, I really did.
My God.
I needed it. I've had a lot going on these past 2 weeks, and there was no bastards of bourbon to get me through. It's really not bad.
It's not. And it's the first, but I'm telling you, I had a little bit of Buffalo Trace. I'm going to, full transparency here. I had a little taste of Buffalo Trace before we came on air. And I did it more so, well, most reasons, because I just wanted
Some bourbon.
some bourbon. But I also was thinking, well, this will be kind of a good thing to see just how bad are these lower end bourbons we're going to have first.
Yeah.
But you
really-
can see, I mean, why it's from the same distillery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And Buffalo Trace really could have been in this, but we just assumed that it would have dominated the scope, so we decided to leave it out.
And here's the crazy thing, and Bean can help me on this because he was the one who was giving me the info prior to. This is from Mash Bill 2, which is also the same mash bills that make Blanton's.
Elmer T. Lee, Hancock Presidential, and Rock Hill Farms.
Yes. Which are all high-end,
Yeah.
superb bourbons.
I weirdly just got the mint.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not because you just saw mint?
No, no. I saw it earlier, and I was like, mint. I hate when it says that. There's never mint.
So they do go higher than 5 for char levels, but most of them stop at 5.
Okay.
Like 7, you get up to like 3.5 minutes. So.
Wow. And I got to think that that's going to overpower just about anything in
Yeah.
that barrel.
Yeah. 4 and less is what most people use. Most people use 3 to 4.
Chewing on a wood plank. We also have I'm not going to say her name because then she'll get more rowdy, but we also have my rowdy dog in the same room pretty much. In the kennel. So if you hear her crying, I apologize.
It's okay.
Pabs tried to soothe her.
All right.
So the next one.
Next one is Benchmark. Personal favorite of Dave's.
I am a fan.
Also a Buffalo Trace product.
Yes.
Actually, slightly less than H&H.
Yeah, by $1.
Okay.
It is cheaper?
$9.99. Ancient Age is $10.99. 80 proof.
Yes, 80 proof. This one I always like just because it's a little sweet. It's not really that complex, but I don't know. I enjoy it. What does this go to? Okay, I got caps everywhere. Sitting on your wire. All right. That camera is usually definitely closer to us because you could just reach over.
And normally I am.
I get. This says peaty. I don't really get any peaty. Never have anyway. I get a mix of caramel, vanilla.
Yep. And this is a different mash bill.
Correct.
One?
I do believe, yeah.
I'm not sure which one I like more.
I know.
They're pretty similar.
They are.
I really hope we don't have to move her in the middle of the podcast.
I do get where it is a little bit sweeter.
Yeah, I think it is a little sweeter for sure.
And maybe it's the butterscotch.
Yeah, so it's mash bill 1, low rye, 10% or less.
It's a little butterier. Butterier.
But yeah, it's got a little bit more.
But-
You mean like a mouthfeel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit more oily, which I seem to prefer.
Buttery.
Buttery.
I was trying to add like an extra ER. in there.
Butterier. I'm about to just move that kettle to the front porch.
I kind of like it. It's a little added flavor in the background.
the crying.
Yes.
It's actually the perfect representation of what's going on inside of me for the last couple days.
I get to toast it now too.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think this might be slightly more complex than the H&H, even though the H&H is $1 more. But they're both. It's surprising. They're both really decent.
And I mean, let's not forget. I think it's obvious if you're watching. I mean, we're drinking these neat in Glencairns. We're adding just a little bit of water, on the second or third taste. But, normally when someone's ordering this, I'm guessing they're getting it at the very least on the rocks, or they're mixing it with like a Diet Coke.
Right.
Or
Yeah, it's probably used as a mixer most of the time.
Manhattan or something.
I'll tell you, the sweetness really comes out more on the nose once you have add the water. Like a lot more.
Yeah.
It kind of nullifies the taste, though, I feel like.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Muted it.
Yeah, I don't...
Not as many things came out.
I'll tell you two things I definitely do not get from this that it has listed on there. I don't get peaty.
I don't.
I don't get bitter.
No.
I don't get either of those at all.
I don't even really get the spicy. I
No.
get more spicy out of the Ancient Age
I would
than
agree.
this.
Yeah, and I don't remember seeing the spicy on
Yeah,
there.
and it wasn't on there. That's what's odd to me. Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like very
Like,
two solid bourbons to start out with. One of which I didn't think was like going to even.
I thought H&H was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And it's really not.
No.
I'm not upset to have it on the shelf.
Nope.
I'm really surprised by the H&H. Obviously, the Benchmark, neither of us are that surprised by. I mean, this is really your second time tasting it. Did you like the Benchmark more this time than your first time?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It's
And again, I think it could depend on what you're tasting prior to.
which we've proven.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, I feel strongly enough that I'd have either one of these at my house for the simple purpose of, Pam might say at any given time, well, which one of these can I have with a Diet Coke?
Yeah.
And then I look up there and I'm like, none of them. Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't think it would hurt to have for a beginning bourbon drinker. Somebody who comes over and they're like, I want to drink bourbon with you, and you give them something that's maybe a little bit more high end. And they're like, wow, this is too much for me. Well, here, let's start you slow. These aren't terrible bourbons. They're decent.
Right.
They're made by Buffalo Trace, and let's start you with that. It'll maybe be a little easier for you to handle.
Yep.
So what you're saying is not start them off with Stag Junior.
No. Although,
Give them the very best bourbon you possibly have, and you just ruin their life right then and there.
Yeah, I tend to want to when the people come into Garden Grill. I'm like, oh, you like bourbon, huh? How about some Stag Junior? And then I'll say like, so what have you had before? They'll say like, oh, Jim Beam, and I'm like, yeah, Stag Junior, fine, whatever.
And I almost got a bottle of Jim Beam to put in this lineup, but we're going to have a couple Jim Beam products coming up later.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to overkill it.
Well, and honestly, I think a good tasting would be to get all those different Jim Beams.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to cost us much money to get them all.
Right.
And then we can just run the train on those. And so far, I feel more nervous about drinking those than now that I've tasted Benchmark and H&H.
I agree.
I think these are, from what I remember about Jim Beam, I think these are both better bourbons than regular Jim Beam.
I think you're probably right.
And cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's, what?
$15.
So not much cheaper, but still cheaper. $15.
And then some of the other ones that they've come out with since go around, what, 20?
22, something like that, yeah.
All right.
I think the single barrel's 31. I think that's the most.
So we got 2 down. And now we're heading towards some corks. It's so nice to see some corks in the lineup.
Doesn't mean they're going to be better.
Yeah. So now we have the Redemption Bourbon. This is quite a price jump, actually. I think Beam, what is this one, 23?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's around
23 to 25 somewhere.
Yeah,
around there.
23 to 25. It is. It actually, I like that it has so much information very prominent on the label. This one's actually 84 proof, so 42%. It is a mash bill of 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% barley, aged in new charred oak barrels. I want to see what does it say on this bottle. Redemption is bringing back American straight bourbon whiskey to its pre-prohibition glory. The corn and rye grains create a smooth, balanced, and slightly spicy straight bourbon reminiscent of a bygone era. That sounds like it's going to have a lot to live up to from what it just told us.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
And is this the one? I believe it is. It's Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see where it says it on here. It does say pre-prohibition on the glass, so they spent some money on the bottle. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's a cool bottle.
Yeah, and it is Indiana. Ugh, distilled in the Indiana heartland.
Oh, they do have a lot of corn in Indiana.
I think it's 60%. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a weird nose. Like,
I feel like any bourbons that I've had from Indiana do.
yeah, I'm about to put her on the porch for real. I'm gonna do that real quick while you start smelling and pouring. You've proven yourself unworthy.
I had faith in you, though, so I'm sorry. Faith.
Yeah, so it says 60% corn, 38.2% rye.
I don't want to slam you down.
The question is, what's that other 1.8?
I think it's barley.
So,
Come on, let's go.
right off the nose, I get a ton of alcohol.
Yeah, 1.8% barley, and it's charred in between 3 and 4.
Interesting.
So I'm guessing like 50
seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be different.
And bottled at barreled at 120 proof. So
Okay.
So did you find any tasting notes on this? That's a weird smell. Is that corn? Is that sweet corn?
I get heavy corn on the smell. I also
Yeah.
get, like, the alcohol seems to be...
More prevalent?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I think I am actually getting a little bit of that cherry on the nose. I'm winded. I need to get back in the gym.
Well, my initial reaction is it was very good mouthfeel. Actually showed me some pretty good complex flavors. I definitely get the vanilla. I don't know. I get the cherry. I don't know about peach. Maybe.
I can't figure out the cherry. Or the peach, I mean. A little bit of spiciness.
But it's pretty damn good.
It's really not bad. I can't say if I like it more or less than the other ones.
It just has a really nice mouthfeel to it.
It does have a really nice mouthfeel. It's the mouthfeel I look for sure. Redemption.
And there's not as much heat on this than the Ancient Age, for sure.
You mean like the alcohol heat?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just something about the nose that strikes me. Yeah, I think it might be a mix of the cherry. Man, it grows on me with every sip, to be honest.
Yeah. Which is, again, I guess another good thing about doing this particular kind of tasting is you really don't have very high expectations on any of these that we're going to try. Maybe
Right.
with the exception of the Old Tub, only because I drunk texted you on vacation telling you that I thought it was a cross between Old Forester 1920 and I can't remember what the other one
was, but you picked like some of our favorite bourbons.
It was like, I'm telling you, it was $22.
And it's the best bourbon. I'm excited to try it. I feel like I did get a little mint when I added water. Little mint. I'm not sure I know how to smell or taste rye altogether.
I like it. I mean, every sip I've had,
It's really not bad.
no.
Weirdly, I think adding the water gave me a little bit more of the alcohol.
I think what I like about most is the smoothness of it.
Yeah, and that
This is
mouth
smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, for a $5 bourbon,
Like, again, it's not knocking my socks off, but
no.
but it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I can't... we're finding a lot... I really expected us to not like this tasting as much, and so far, maybe it's just because we haven't done one in so long.
That could very well be true. I was thinking the same thing.
Like we're just excited.
Yeah. They would have loved anything they put in front of them.
Except Weller Green.
Except Weller Green.
And it almost made it. It almost made the lineup.
You know what? That'll be the test. Is if we think about it again at the end, we'll taste the Weller Green again and be like, okay, we were just excited.
Yes. Yes.
If we start praising that.
And I remember having the Redemption Rye just a week or so ago, and actually really liking that as well too.
Mm-hmm. This is better than I remember when I first tried it, because it's been on my shelf sitting on the bottom, which I don't think it's going to raise itself up from this tasting, but it's better than I remember.
Yeah, it's one that you would pick up and say, yeah, I'll drink this on a big rock.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I've also gave my palate a rest for like this week because I had so much to do, so I was trying not to drink an abundance of bourbon every night. So I was sticking to couple of easygoing beers, and every once in a while a little screwball on a rock.
Yeah. But I wish I could say the same. But I didn't go crazy. We just we each a few guys, 4 or 5 of us that went on this trip, brought a bottle of bourbon. So I brought E.H. Taylor.
Nice.
Yes. Jeff brought the 1910.
Oh, nice. Which we can now get. You'll be able to get that again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine from Columbus, and he said it's a pretty popular bourbon there. I can't say if I've ever seen it here, called Cooper Creek.
We don't carry it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's pretty good.
Really?
Now, we ended up mostly making old fashions out of those, but I tried it neat. I liked it.
You were making old fashions out of 1910?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. We're using the Cooper Creek. We're using Cooper Creek and Basil Hayden.
I was like, hold on. Podcast over.
What happened to him?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about this friendship anymore.
I thought he was a bastard.
But I like your reaction was perfect. Oh, no. All right, so far, I am shockingly happy with how this is turning out.
And it's going to be really hard for me to rank these so far.
Yeah, I agree. It is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's crazy, though, if you think about the price jump. These two are both around $10.
Right.
This one jumps up to $23.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy for how different. Even if you think this one is better, I don't think there's any way anybody can taste these three and think this one is that much better than these two.
Right.
You know?
I completely agree with that, and that's a good point to bring out.
Yeah. All right. Evan Williams, single barrel.
Single barrel.
The infamous.
Yes. We will call it BC.
Yeah. We have a friend whose favorite story is his Evan Williams single barrel story. And it's all about how he is going somewhere and he tells them he'll pick up a decent bottle of bourbon, stops at a liquor store on the way, and that's the best he can find. And he feels like he let everybody down. And then he shows up at the party and he's like, I'm really sorry, guys, blah, blah, blah. And then he takes his first drink and realizes it's amazing.
Oh. He felt something move in his pants.
And then he said, I take it back, guys. I don't apologize. And I'll be in the bathroom.
Was it Cooper's Craft, Steve?
It could have been. If I saw the bottle, but yeah, that's that.
I got to say, I think this is the worst nose yet. I want to see what you think.
Why do I get the feeling you're talking about my nose? That's it.
Okay.
Oh, he went heavy pour on this one.
So they actually make two of those. They make 100 proof and then just a regular.
I think I had the 100. Is there one that's like a reddish or a burgundy in the
I'm
label?
not sure. I'm just looking at the
Okay.
Ohio website right now.
Yeah, it was the 100. I remember now.
Do you think this is the worst nose you've had yet?
Yes.
I think this has the most alcohol on the nose.
Most and the least complex.
Yeah.
Most alcohol, least complex as far as other.
I think it is predominantly alcohol in the nose.
Yes.
Maybe a little kind of wood.
I'm a little upset that my wrist went flaccid on that pour right about now.
I was like, man, that's the heaviest pour he did. But you probably thought you were getting to the best of the best. That's all we've heard about.
A lot of caramel. I like that. Little heavy on the heat on my nose.
Yeah, it doesn't show up as much on the palate, but it's still there. It's still, I'd say the heat is still there more than the other ones. Which it is it a higher proof?
This is 86.6.
86.6.
It's got to be 86.
It's not a bourbon if it's not
Sorry, I had to do
86.
that.
So it is the highest proof we've had, but it does not disguise the alcohol nearly as well as the others.
No.
I get maybe it's some cinnamon. I'm getting oak.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
I definitely get the cinnamon
Yeah.
for sure.
What kind of candy is that?
It looks like the sprinkles you put on an ice cream sundae. I'm not getting cherry.
No. I feel like the other flavors that might be there are being overpowered.
By the alcohol? Yeah. This
And
one,
it's not a high proof, but
no. It seems like it's the least well put together out of everything we've tasted so far. Maybe some water will help it.
Pam, would you like to try some?
I thought you would never ask.
I can't believe it took you this long.
He just wanted to get rid of some of it.
Trying to be polite.
Pam, if you were closer, we'd give you some of all of them. I don't know which one of you would drive at that point, but
She'd be all right.
she'd be all right. Did you add water, or did you forget?
No, I did.
I don't feel like water helped the nose. Very, very let down.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I have tasting notes written down for everything we've tasted so far. The only thing I've written down for this is disappointed.
Yes. I want to put Diet Coke in it.
Yeah, for sure. That when you're over here from now on, that may be the new bottle we hand you instead of the Weller Green.
I just get the feeling like someone there said, well, everybody else is doing single barrel. We got to do single barrel.
But they didn't do anything to actually make it a better bourbon. They were just like,
They just bottled it at a higher proof. Put less water in it.
I am putting.
I'm assuming Evan Williams' normal is probably 80.
It's like and it's like $12.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? When Bean dropped this off to me, and because he really wanted to know what I thought of it, and I was like, it's really not bad. It's got a little sweetness to it. And this is one that after the second time going around, I like less. I actually have you put disappointed. I put Evan Williams. Nope.
Evan who?
It makes me want to compare it to the regular Evan Williams.
Yeah.
Like, does it do anything different?
And Pam,
Pam,
I'm
what-
not just saying this. I really want you to try this next one.
Pam, would you like to try some of my Evan Williams?
Thank you.
Different glass, same shitty taste.
Yeah. I'm actually excited to try this too because I've talked so much shit about it. To me, it is my Yellowstone.
And Dave and I agree to disagree on this one. Now, I don't love it,
Right.
But I don't hate it like you do.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if maybe it was the particular bottle I had. Maybe something went wrong.
Could be.
You know what I mean? And for how
It wasn't the bottle that you were drinking when you were walking out in the streets at night when it was raining and you were barefoot.
I would never do that with such a shitty bourbon.
All right.
That was Eagle Rare. Which, by the way, I saw somebody who made glasses out of the Eagle Rare bottle. How awesome!
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to do that.
Would you see it online?
Yeah, it was on one of the bourbon things I follow on Facebook.
Yeah, we need those.
And we buy enough Eagle Rare that we could get ourselves a couple sets.
Starting that heavy pour again. Can't be stopped.
That's why Manny wouldn't let you touch his bottles.
That's all right. Pam's getting some of this one.
Oh, Jesus. It's my least favorite bourbon, and I went heavy. I went
Wow.
so heavy.
You went super heavy.
Fuck. I'm really upset. Might have to smoke a cigarette to get this one down.
Well, you can add to this before you
There you go.
start sucking on it. All right, Pam, yours is ready to go. Easy now. Easy now, Tiger.
I swear to God, that was a natural reaction. Actually, after I did it, I couldn't believe I did it. You can't tell me that is not a weird fucking nose.
It's weird.
It's so fucking weird. What is that?
I get it, and it's not even up there, but what I get out of it is like nutmeg.
That might be what it is. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. Maybe it's a mix between the honey and the orange, and it's coming out like as
Maybe
nutmeg.
it's the blossom, because I've never seen blossom on any other tasting note ever.
It's just floral.
I've seen floral. I've never seen blossom.
See, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I'm scared to taste it. I really
It's
am.
not. You're not gonna get the lingering, long finish that you're gonna get on some higher end bourbons.
I think that's because of the wheat.
Yeah, but I think the wheat kind of rounds it out a little bit. It's smooth. It's very smooth.
And I like a lot of wheat bourbons. I'm not going to say it's not smooth. It was,
Pappy.
yeah.
It's definitely smooth,
But
but
I think
kind
this.
of flat.
I'm so terrified to taste this again.
I'm gonna pour myself a little bit more.
After my initial reaction, how
You should take the-
she's like,
So
please,
you
just-
don't like it?
She's like, just get this out of here.
No.
No, I mean I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's just
I just feel like I put some water in it here.
What kind of face was that?
Here's what I'll tell you. For sure, this bottle is not as bad as the bottle I had. That I will give you.
And this is 92 proof. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
So it's stepping it up a little bit from the last one we had.
It's for sure not as bad. It's still terrible.
Well, I don't think that's a ringing endorsement.
It's this is for some reason it's like maybe it's like Manny with the 1910. Like we all agree that 1910 is a pretty goddamn good bourbon.
Very good bourbon.
Manny hates it.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah. I get it.
Oh my god.
There's what I will tell you is again, there's not a lot of complexity,
no.
but it's smooth and it's an easy drinking bourbon.
It tastes like feet.
And I think for the I think the price point's about right for it.
What is it? $12? $5. If we were in a bidding war, I'd bid $5.
Well, then I would win at 6.
It's just there's something about it that is so different. I've also never seen Savory on there. And what did they do in the background of Savory? I think something got broken.
So
I don't get sweetness. I don't get butterscotch.
no, there's definitely a little bit of sweetness there. There's caramel.
Scotch at all.
Do you get bread?
Actually, I get
the wheat
some sweetness on it.
more than I get the
I
bread,
definitely get
but
that.
I
It's
guess
like a
that's kind of the
yeast
same
something,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do get a little orange, I guess. God damn it.
So it's a
It's like torture for him. He's being tortured.
It's bad.
It's not. It's not that bad.
It's so bad.
All right, we'll just mark this up as a situation where it's just a bourbon you have found that you don't like.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because I've talked to, I do want to put this out in the world because I don't think anybody should take my endorsement as the end all be all. Because I've talked to so many people that think this is a pretty decent bourbon.
Yeah, I know Jeff and Bubba are two people that really like this bourbon.
Yeah, yeah. And I hear a lot of people are like, they'll ask me when they find out I'm into bourbon. A lot of people will approach me with, "You had Larceny? Like, is there a better bourbon at that price point?" And I'm like, fucking all of them.
Yeah.
But it happens a lot. So obviously people like this product. It's just something that, like Manny with the 1910, it is not for me, man.
And I think it's because it's easy drinking for someone that maybe doesn't like all the punch with some of these other bourbons that we love because of all the flavors we get out of
This
them.
punches the fuck out of me. In the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Punch was the perfect word. I feel like I just got two black eyes.
Well, the crazy thing is like when we get Buffalo Trace in, people will pick Larceny up over Buffalo Trace, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
We had a lady.
Now that's
We had a lady that came in when I was working there.
Yeah.
She came in and she was like, "Do you guys have Buffalo Trace?" And we shockingly had it. And I was like, "We actually do. It's right over here." She's like, "Do you have Larceny?" I was like, "We do."
Dave was like, "You don't want that."
So we went over to the Larceny, and she was like, and it was slightly cheaper at the time.
Yeah,
It really was.
yeah.
So it must have gone up in price because it was slightly cheaper than Buffalo Trace at the time. And she decided to go with that because it was a couple bucks cheaper. And I was like, "Ma'am, stop."
And it was for a birthday present, I think. Is what
Right.
she
It
said.
was for
Yeah,
a gift.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ma'am, stop." I said, "I'm not even going to get into the flavors." The Buffalo Trace over there is a rare, hard-to-get bourbon. For a couple extra bucks, you should definitely get them the Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
I didn't even go into the fact that I hated Larceny.
right.
It was just, that's harder to get.
Absolutely.
For a present, for a couple bucks extra,
Yeah.
get that.
And if he knows his bourbon, he's going to be way more appreciative.
Than the Larceny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he's anything like me, he's going to be way more appreciative because he probably would have just thrown it in the garbage.
Good.
Water didn't really help it. Not for me. A lot of people like it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to.
It's a Heaven Hill product.
I mean, it's not.
I'm committing the ultimate sin.
Heaven Hill, which also makes Elijah Craig,
Henry McKenna.
Henry McKenna, which we have already.
I
talked
love
about.
their stuff.
Yeah,
I love Pikesville. I love Henry McKenna.
Yeah.
I hate this. I literally.
and what I will tell you is, it's not something that I regularly have at my bar. I've had it before at my bar, but I don't like. Once I went through that bottle, it wasn't like, oh, I got to go get another Larceny because I
Yeah.
ran out of my last one.
Right.
It's not that good.
Evan Williams is Heaven Hill too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Huh.
Did you know that?
I don't think I did. So, there you go.
Larceny, why? Question mark.
Hey, you were the one that insisted on having it in the lineup.
Listen, you're right. I did. One, because I really was curious if it was the bottle because so many people do think it's good. So I was very curious if it was the bottle I had. I was actually going to buy it myself. Luckily, Steve bought it. Do you want the money for that?
No. No.
I'll give it to you. Now, this one I'm excited for.
Right. Okay. So, another Buffalo Trace product.
Yes. Well, it's actually
Sazerac. It's not Buffalo
Sazerac
Trace.
is the
Right.
parent company that owns Buffalo Trace.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you look at the bottle, though, it does tell you that Buffalo Trace Distillery, Frankfort, Kentucky. I mean,
I think it's just bottled there.
I
bottled
got to
there.
smoke a cigarette after that,
Right.
Larceny.
Right. Bottled there.
Yeah.
Which I guess they have to put that
Well,
on there.
they have to bottle it there because the Sazerac 18, which is a part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, is made there.
Ah,
Yeah, so they have to bottle that there because that's just less age-year.
and how hard is the Sazerac 18 to get?
Good luck.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Why can't people just help us out? Actually,
And it pisses me off because people are on fucking Instagram and shit, posting all these pictures that they get, and it's like, you know what, just go fuck yourself at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and how much did you pay for that? These people are paying outrageous prices.
Yeah.
Also, on those Facebook pages, I'll see people paying like, hey, got this for $2,000, great deal, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. This is 90 proof. I actually had them slightly out of order. I didn't realize it. Larceny should have been next, but thank
No,
God
it
we
shouldn't.
got it out of the way.
Should have just been over here.
For Dave's sake, more than anything.
Just ruined my palate. I had to light
So-
up a cigarette.
I've had this one other time. It's been probably 3 or 4 years. I remember really liking it then. I remember it being a very spicy rye, which I love spicy ryes.
You're going to, I think, be a little let down by the spiciness this time.
Okay.
Because I've had it recently. I will say BJ doesn't like this at all.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say at all. He was just like, meh. But BJ's a little more new to the game than we are.
Right.
I enjoy it. It's got a great price point. I think it's $27.99. We're only charging $5 for it at Garden Grill Steakhouse.
Yeah.
The nose, I do get some alcohol in the nose. Not as much as the Evan Williams, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
I do get some cherry, actually. This is way more complex than the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look at it.
I
Actually,
get-
it actually says
It's
fragrant.
not up there, but I get like toasted almond. I don't know if it's that or if it's just my breath coming back at
I
me.
feel you've been eating almonds today. I can tell you, I feel, you do leave your mouth open. I was gonna say somebody recently told me leave your mouth open.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of the mint. What the fuck is on there for leafy? What is that?
I was
Why wouldn't that be
curious.
some leaves? What the fuck is that? Paper?
That's what it looks like.
Oh boy.
Fragrant is just some wind blowing.
Well, and I actually get the
Great mouthfeel.
Yeah. And I did a little more of a Kentucky chew with this one when I first took it down, and boy, it brought out so many different things.
Not as spicy as you probably remember, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
And I think that might be because since I've had this,
You've had so many spicy things.
spicy ryes.
Mm-hmm.
Pikesville, is a pretty damn spicy rye.
And I
Fuck.
love it. I'm going to do the Kentucky Chew this time.
But for the price point, I think anybody would be nuts not to have this behind their bar.
Completely agree. If I see it again, I'll make sure I grab you a bottle as well.
Please.
I do get a little hint of cherry. I feel like I get a little. This is the first one where I feel like I get a little hint of everything on there, except for I don't know what the fuck leafy is.
Leafy. He's leafy.
This is excellent. $27.99. It's phenomenal rye.
Yeah. I'm going to pour Pam some because she's going to want to try this.
Yeah.
She likes herself a rye.
I actually, for sure, Kentucky Chew, I for sure get the mint. I almost have the toothpaste feeling in my upper lip.
It almost makes me wonder, I know right now Woodford is like the mint julep that they use for Kentucky Derby.
They should knock it off. Get some Sazerac, because I'm getting mint for sure.
Yeah.
Like, for real, I feel like I brushed my
Way
teeth.
more than any of the others that said
mint,
Yeah.
without a doubt. And I literally, my upper lip feels like I brushed my teeth after doing the Kentucky Chew.
Oh, and now you don't have to brush them.
I know, perfect, dude. I'm actually going to use Sazerac now as toothpaste.
Or just like Listerine afterwards.
He washes his mouth out with bourbon.
It's like
What is wrong with him?
It's like Bert Kreischer. You know who he is, stand-up comedian.
Yes.
He does that Russian mafia story.
Yeah.
He sometimes, if he swims, he just considers that his shower. I don't know how. I know we both watch our own podcasts because we want to see how we can improve things like that.
Right.
I don't know if you watch many podcasts besides that, but Two Bears One Cave with him and Tom Segura is the funniest podcast out there.
Okay.
They had an episode. They're not. It was actually the most recent episode. Something happened in like the last 20 minutes, and I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard, and that was also what was happening to them. They couldn't breathe because they were laughing so hard, but they'd breathe long enough to say something to add to the story and just get all three of us, them two and me, going again. Wow. It is the funniest thing out there. But he likes pool showers.
Interesting.
Pam, what do you think?
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is excellent.
Yeah.
So much better.
And I mean, I don't think I'm oversimplifying it. Maybe I'm making it sound a little less like I'm working hard on the bourbon tasting, but this blows away anything I've had so far.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you while riding. Oh, hell yes. And because I was looking at you while doing it, it is not lined up well, and there is an extra L.
I think it's supposed to just be an explanation point.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, hell, exclamation point, yes. It's excellent.
Yeah, very good.
For $27.99, I'm not sure is there a better rye out there at that price point?
I don't think so.
I don't want to put Diet Coke in this.
I will tell you
No.
this. One of my go-to ryes, but it's not like I would drink this neat all day long
All day.
or on a rock. But one of my go-to ryes and one of my favorite ryes is Bullet Rye. But it's my go-to to make an old-fashioned.
Right.
Because I like a rye old-fashioned. Do I drink Bullet Rye neat? No, I don't. But
No.
this, which is at the same price point as Bullet, might even be $1 less.
This is better than Bullet.
Yes.
I think they're the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you add the water, you get the mint on the nose.
Because regular Bullet's 23. So, yeah, about the same price.
Yeah.
26.
It's got a little bit of. This is a good rye. It's so crazy because the flavor profile is so good that it's weird to say this is a good rye to start somebody out with, but it's because it's not overly spicy. The spicy is there, but it's not overly spicy.
Right. It doesn't knock you over.
Like it's not like where's that one at? Pam,
And I would
right
love
in
to
between
know-
that 1910 and that 1920, right in between, there's that Knob Creek. Can you grab that out of there for me?
And I would love to know what the actual mash bill is on this because they definitely have, there's enough.
Vanna White.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to show them Larceny, but they don't want to see that.
Yeah, not after my reaction. Nobody's ever going to taste that again.
I showed them the first 2 bottles, and then I just stopped.
Yeah. Well, it's further away than it used to be.
Right.
So
It's a lot of effort.
forget that.
So-
we'll hand it to Vanna White over
They
there.
actually don't give you the mash bill for it, but it is believed to be 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% malted barley.
I'm glad I accidentally went heavy pour on this.
Yeah, it's.
I know, you're giving me way too heavy of course.
Adding
I'm barely putting anything in it. I mean, that's like one of my stiff pours.
I did not mind the heavy pour on this one, though, because it is good.
Yeah. Adding the water on this one gave me a little bit of the cherry. I wasn't really getting the cherry before.
I got a lot of the cherry after the water.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. The mint is still definitely prominent, which I didn't realize as I had been drinking it before this.
I got more mint. I think I already said it, but I got more mint out of this one than any of the others.
Leaps and bounds. No
Yeah.
kidding. When I did the Kentucky Chew after you brought it up, which we probably should do for most of them, but after I did it, I was like, man, it feels like I just brushed my teeth.
And I'll be honest, I was just a little scared if I did the Kentucky Chew with some of the earlier ones. I was just going to throw up.
Which it didn't end up being that way. But for me with the Larceny, it might have happened. But I can't wait to actually see the video of my initial reaction after smelling the Larceny, because I feel like it's going to be hilarious, because you looked at me immediately and were like, easy. That is my Yellowstone.
Which we still need to get those T-shirts, damn it. Mm-hmm. At some point.
The Easy Now Tiger?
Oh.
Yeah. Listen, I got to remodel a bathroom. Which I think I'm going to wait, and I think I'm going to agree with you.
The T-shirts are more important.
And what? And I'm
Well,
gonna,
no, studio first.
Studio first.
T-shirts.
Studio, T-shirts,
then bathroom. I'll pay for the T-shirts. I'll chip in for that.
God, I like this Sazerac, man. I'm like savoring it.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling with it.
Yeah, no, it has super impressed me. I remember liking it the first time I had it, and then I just never went back to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of hard to get. It's not easy. It's not impossible. It's not easy. I will say I brought this out because I want to remember for us to try this when we're done. If we do this right now, it'll wreck our fucking palate.
Yeah.
Because that is spicy.
Spicy.
It is black pepper.
Why is he like bourbons that are so spicy? He has a spice problem.
There's no tasting.
Can I tell you how much I've missed this? This is like my favorite thing that I do. This is like Christmas.
All right, so we're gonna move to one of my.
God, we're almost over. We got to put a bunch more bottles on this table.
So this is Old Granddad Bonded, 100 proof.
Yeah, there's no tasting notes.
There's not.
It's okay.
Huh?
I have my own tasting notes in my head.
He's ready for this one.
I am ready for this one. So I've had a few bottles at the bar. I've made old fashions out of it, which it makes.
You've
spectacular
always talked
old-fashioned.
about the old fashions
Yeah.
with this. You always have.
And it's probably been maybe close to a year, maybe a little less since I've had it. So I'm really excited to have it again to see if my palate's changed or if it solidifies my original thought that this is for the dollar for dollar is an unbelievably good bourbon. We'll find out.
Oh my God, what am I doing? I'm just like, yep, let's drink. Son of a bitch. Hey, babe, can you hand me a water? I'm sorry. I just.
I do have the mash bill on it.
I'm just so happy to do a fucking Bastards of Bourbon that I'm like, yep, here we go.
So this is a Jim Beam product. 63% corn, 27% rye.
Oh.
So that's pretty heavy for something that's not a rye. 10% malted barley. 4+ years. Everything I read said it's probably 4 to 5 years is what we're looking at age-wise. Price, as we mentioned, $21. So what we're supposed to get on the nose, and I don't even want to say it till we get a chance to.
I don't get heat. I get spiciness. Oh, man, do I get spiciness.
Yeah, it's interesting what they say here.
There's
Dark sweets. So caramel, butterscotch.
I was going to say there's a hint of sweetness. I can't figure out what it is, but it's not a lot of sweetness, right?
No.
Am I getting a little?
I get the butterscotch when I take it in the mouth. God, I hate saying that on there. What the hell is wrong with me?
That's a shirt. Bourbon.
Don't ever say that on air. That's ever.
That's a shirt. Bourbon tastings. Take it in the mouth.
It was so sweet on my mouth.
Bourbon lovers, we take it in the mouth.
Don't forget to swallow.
Oh my God! All right, here we go.
And then it goes south. It was going so well until then.
We seemed so
One
professional
little- yeah.
for a second.
One little sentence uttered.
Is this why people say you should only taste 4 at a time? Say anything about leather?
No, raw grain. Doesn't give any leather. Oh no, here it is on the palate. Leather coming up towards the end.
I got slightly on the nose. I definitely got on the palate. It's got a great mouthfeel.
Yeah, it does.
Great
I need to
mouthfeel.
try that.
Absolutely.
I heard
Slide that.
later,
Slide that
leathery.
Basil Hayden
Man, you
over.
remember the last one Jeff was on? Man, he was sliding those bottles so easily.
Yeah.
You remember that? It's like he was a bartender.
So, a cool story that Bean told me today, unless I don't want to take your thunder, Bean, you can tell it. But who is Old Granddad?
So old granddad is Basil Hayden.
Like it's
guy.
not the guy,
Yeah.
not the bourbon.
Yeah,
Right.
not the
And s-
bourbon.
and
It's the guy.
And so there's kind of a folklore story out there that Basil Hayden is an Old Granddad, just aged a lot longer. But they're made at
Two different places. Yeah.
So it's not that. It's just that they are the same person.
and it could also be, I guess, the same.
It could be the
mash
same
bill.
mash bill. Yeah,
Yeah.
they could use identical mash bills, but they're not made at the same place.
Yeah.
I will say, I feel like it's a little unfortunate that the Sazerac was right before this. Because this is good. I can tell it's good.
Yeah.
But the Sazerac, man.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. And I mean, there's a reason why I like this so much as a old fashioned is because I'm not necessarily thinking, oh, I'm going to grab the Old Granddad 100 bonded and have it neat,
Right.
which is what makes this tasting so. And you got to, and I'm a firm believer, we have to do it this way because we have to get the bourbon for what its true flavor is. We're not going to sit here and mix 10, well, it would be 20 because we'd each be having one old
Right.
fashions.
Yeah. We'd have to make one and then split them. First of all, you'd be doing it forever. Second of all, we'd be drinking so many fluids.
Right. Now, could that be an interesting podcast? Absolutely.
Yes. We could make there could be a time where we make the old fashioned sans ice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then do little tastings out of them. I don't hate that idea.
I don't either.
I don't even like old fashions that much, but I don't hate that idea. Actually, it'd be perfect for me because I actually love the first couple drinks of an old fashioned. It's after that. It's just too much sweetness for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So it says Basil Hayden,
That's
his
why I drink mine so quick.
grandson, Raymond B. Hayden, founded a company in Nelson County, Kentucky, and labeled it Old Granddad in honor of his grandfather.
Oh, that's cool.
So I also think it's important to say that you do love an old fashioned with this because it does let people know how they should maybe drink this product because it's good.
Yeah.
It's better than some of the other ones that have been on here. Like I definitely think it's better than the Evan Williams
Yes.
single barrel
Yeah.
and cheaper. I don't necessarily know that I like it more than Benchmark though, but it's good. It has a great mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Great mouthfeel.
And it's spicy. It's spicy, and that's part of why I like it.
Actually, it does have a good spice
Yeah.
to it.
And that's part of why I like it as an old fashioned.
Yeah. And the old fashioned probably adds a little bit more to it because I actually don't feel like I get a lot of flavor out of it in general. I get some leather, I get some sweetness, but I'm not getting a ton of flavors.
It's not overly complex.
Yeah.
By no means. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pam?
I liked the other one better.
Sazerac. Yeah, that Sazerac is just phenomenal.
But what I will tell you, and you just pointed it out, but just to reiterate, this is a bottle. If you're like, I don't want to spend too much on it, you're just starting out, or you really like, or you getting into old fashions, you got to pick up this bottle.
I absolutely think it would make a phenomenal old fashioned because it does actually have a decent amount of spiciness to it, especially for a bourbon. But the thing is the spiciness is pretty much what I'm getting.
Yep.
I'm not really getting a
It
ton of other.
overpowers it a little bit. I totally agree.
But for an old fashioned, perfect.
Right. That's what you want.
Right. Because you're adding so much sweetness to the old fashioned.
Right.
I actually, next time we do an old fashioned, that's what we should use for mine because maybe that'll balance it out for me.
I think that's a great idea. Let's turn this Larceny around so Dave doesn't get all upset. Just going to move it out in the back here. As we get ready to try the old tub
By far, the one I was the most excited for coming into this was the Old Tub.
Me as well, and I've already had it as it's been chronicled. I'm a little nervous, although I broke out my tasting over 3 nights. A little bit initially, I was like, gosh, this is pretty good. And the second night is when I texted you and Jeff proclaiming that this might be the best under $25 bourbon ever.
I'm not sure that's true. You might have been on the boundaries of this is one of the best bourbons I've ever had.
Boundary. I don't know if I crossed it, but I definitely was walking
You
right
were
on it.
definitely walking right on it. You compared it to 1920 and one of our other top bourbons.
I feel like I need to look that
Yeah,
up.
look that up while I pour. Hand that over here this way. Hand that over here this way. I'm good with words. Oh, God, I've missed this. We should do these twice a week.
So I guess they stopped making Old Tub when they sold the company to Fortune Brands.
The fuck is Fortune Brands?
Well, it was like an overseas company.
So wait a second. Jim Beam sold it to Fortune Brands?
So they stopped, Fortune Brands stopped making it because they bought the Beam Distillery.
So Jim Beam sold their distillery?
Their company, yeah. It's
No
went through
shit.
3 or 4 different companies now. Now it's Beam Suntory, of course, but
Leather. I definitely get leather on the nose. Leather.
because it says according to Beam Master Distiller and great-great-grandson of Jim Beam himself, Fred No, when the Beam Company sold its business to Fortune Brands, then Master Distiller Booker No decided that his favorite everyday bourbon, Old Tub, would be discontinued and would only be made strictly for family uses.
Well, shit. So he liked it only for his family?
So he was like, fuck
That's high
everybody
praise.
else.
All right, so I found the text.
I can't wait to hear this again.
And yes, I did pour a little bit heavy.
And did you teeter the line as much as I thought you did?
Yeah. This was all right.
I get a lot of leather on the nose, by the way.
So I said, so this was the third time I think I tried it. Second or third time. Second. And I'm going to read it verbatim.
Yes.
So I'm having one more Old Tub tonight to double check my review from the other day. I might be crazy, but it reminds me a lot of the 1920 in Widow Jane. Almost tastes like a blend of the two.
How drunk were you when this was?
I don't know. You will have to ask Pam.
Those are
I mean, a lot of those days and nights run together.
Who sent you that?
No,
he sent that to us.
It was Tuesday, July 21st at 9:00. So
So you might have been pretty drunk. It was vacation.
right,
But so it's a mix of
1920.
And
In-
when
in Widow
Old
Jane.
Forester 1920 and Widow Jane 10 year.
But on the nose, I mean, sorry,
The nose is good.
on
Do
the
you have
nose,
tasting notes on this?
no, there are none.
on the nose, I get 1920. I mean, I do.
I don't get.
I might have some notes on it.
I'll tell you why I don't get the 1920 because I don't get maple, and I get maple heavy on the nose of 1920.
Okay.
Hold on.
He's pulling out the big guns.
I'm not going to taste it for nose purposes.
Right.
Should mix them and then see what they taste like.
Let's mix Widow Jane in 1920.
That's what I'm saying, and see what they taste.
I have enough of both. Oh, it's similar. It is. It is similar,
I'm telling you.
but there's a little more sweetness to the 1920, I think.
A little bit, but
Make sure you don't mix them up. It is similar,
Yeah.
but I think there's more sweetness to the 1920.
maybe.
Come on, there's maple in there. Ah, man, they're really similar. There's more leather to this for sure than there is to the 1920. And we are actually going to drink that 1920. Don't be fooled. We're not drinking it yet.
It says shades of honey with waves of oak, followed by
You gotta
ribbons of
give it
vanilla.
a little bit of the true because I think there's just a lot of nuances in there. I bought this in South Carolina for $21.99.
The mouthfeel, spectacular.
Yeah.
Do get a little of the alcohol on the end.
Yeah.
Man.
And I feel like that kind of is prevalent with any Jim Beam product.
Yeah. But it's really good. I'll tell you what.
For the price is what
The price is absurd, and I'll tell you what. If the Sazerac wasn't on here, this is leaps and bounds the winner. I think.
It's good, huh? It's got a lot of just complexity to
It's
it.
got a little nuttiness to it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Man, I wish the flavor notes were up there because sometimes the flavor note I like to not look at them at first, but then I like to see them so I can be like, you know what, that's what that was.
Yeah,
But this is excellent, and for that price point,
I know.
leaves a lot of burn on the tongue.
Yes, it does.
So a little spicy, a lot of burn on the tongue.
I like that burn on the tongue.
Well,
It's
as we've already stated, what was it? If you like bourbon drinkers, we like it in the mouth.
yeah. So I was trying to breathe it, in the nose and the mouth, and then I was like, oh, well, when I take it in the mouth.
That's what
When
it
I
was.
should have said when I breathe it in my mouth.
Yeah, that's what it was. Bourbon drinkers, we take it in the mouth. We actually can't make that a shirt, but it's hilarious. That implies too many things. It's excellent.
Pam, you want to try this? It's going to be one that you probably won't get to try very often.
Well then, an emphatic yes.
So, I may have been a little off my rocker, but
It's definitely not those two.
I mean,
and actually, it's excellent. That price point is insane.
yeah. I mean, compared to you're paying $70 for Widow Jane.
Yeah,
You're
75.
you're paying $65 for 1920.
Yeah,
So you could get something $40 less, $40 to $50 less. That might not be quite as good, but it is damn close. It's not far off.
here's what I'll tell you. The price point is phenomenal. I think it is excellent. It is without a doubt in my top 3. I think we both know what the clear-cut number 1 is here.
Yes.
The 2 and 3, I'm having a little struggle with, which I think is surprising. And I might have to try them both again.
So your number 2 is Larceny?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Okay. I was trying to follow along earlier, but I kind of lost time.
You said 2 or 3, so it could
Yeah.
be either. Yeah.
Blacked out.
It could be. Yeah, it
Might
could
have
be 2 or
blacked out a
3.
little bit.
But this is excellent, and for a $21 bottle, I highly recommend. Now, I will say, to me, this is also, you know what? This has to be number 2 because it is also more complex, and has a little bit more heat to it than the rest of what we have here.
Yes.
It's definitely more complex. It has to be number 2. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
So it's almost not something that's good to introduce somebody to bourbon. You know what I mean? For the first time, because it has those complexities. Even at $21.99, it has those complexities. The more I drink it, the more I'm getting.
It might
flavors
scare.
all around.
Well, and which is why I needed to do it a second and third time, because I'm like, wow, I don't want to oversell this. Mm-hmm. I know that bourbons, after if you have a bourbon for the first time,
Right.
even if you've had one or two,
You either hate it or love it.
right?
Yeah.
But then if you have it a third or fourth time on a different night,
Right.
maybe, after you didn't eat a Philly cheesesteak with onion rings,
Right. Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, oh my God.
Like, this is amazing.
Like, what was I thinking before?
Well, and I'll tell you what, your text was too much.
It was a little over the top. It was slightly over the top.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. Hold on. Hold on. We're making this happen. No, this is a clean glass. We're going to mix Widow Jane in 1920.
Okay, let's do it. And I bet you're going to like the old tub better.
All right, listen. We're just doing this a little bit here.
Pam, your old tub is waiting for you.
All right, I'm coming.
I just love the name, Old Tub. Are you kidding me? It's a great bourbon name. Come on by, drink out of our old tub. We'll make sure we clean out the pubes.
Well, this smells entirely too complex. It's alcoholic, but got some sweetness. A lot of sweetness, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are we actually trying this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go from one side, I'll go from the other.
Wow.
Is that good?
Is that good? Jesus. We might be on to something.
Well, listen, people do these infinity bottles, man. Have you heard about those?
Yes. We one of the podcasts early on, we talked a little bit about it. We were slamming it. Jeez.
Oh my God.
Oh, she likes it.
What is this?
Old Tub.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it is good. The mouthfeel of this was amazing. It was like thick but airy.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but for real, thick but airy, right?
Yes.
Like thick.
Reminds me of my 12th grade math teacher. She was thick, but she was airy.
There is something wrong with you.
This was good, but I'll tell you, to me, it still didn't sell me on doing an infinity bottle.
Yeah.
Because I'd probably still rather drink Widow Jane
Was it worth $90 though?
or 1920 separately.
And was it that much better than this? I know. Maybe.
That's tough to say, because that was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good, but it was weird. Let me taste this again, though. Here, that's what we'll do. Taste it again.
Yeah.
The nose is very similar to mixing those two. You might have fucking nailed it. The nose is very similar.
Thought I was nuts. It's like, oh my God, he's gone off the deep end.
The nose is very similar. Now, after I did that, I get more of the sweetness on the nose. That's really fucking similar.
I'm telling you what.
That's really similar.
I don't know if it's because we've already had 8 bourbons tonight.
But that's really similar. How did you predict that?
I'm basing it off of my taste buds and what I feel.
But you've never before just now actually mixed the two.
No.
and you might have nailed it. It might actually be a mix of the two.
I had a bottle of Widow Jane down there, but
Okay.
but I did not have a bottle of 1920. So there was no physical way I could have done that, and then sent you the text and said, "Oh, here's what it tastes like."
Right. That's crazy because it's really, the mixture is actually really.
It's kind of a
fucking
cool idea
similar.
to do it.
Yeah, well,
They're
if it was something that was really rare, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But we can get those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think it was actually kind of cool. But
he's coming over to my side, Bean.
but I'm not doing the infinity bottle. I'm not doing it. Like,
I'm not suggesting that.
well, because here's my thing: if I have 2 ounces of Widow Jane left, and I'm gonna pour it into this bottle
Yeah,
instead of drink it,
right.
you out of your fucking mind? I love Widow Jane.
And especially when you find batches of Widow Jane that are like, I'm not saying they're not all good in their own right.
They're definitely all good,
Yeah.
but they are definitely different.
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you do with Larceny though?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like he can't even he can't even speak of it.
He's like, "What's that? Where
Yeah.
did you put it in
Listen,
there?"
my initial reaction from smelling it tells you all you need to know about me and Larceny. Oh, Nymeria.
Uh-oh.
This is the problem with having dogs in the studio.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, so we got to go through our rankings.
Yes, we do.
Bean, tell me a story.
I can't do that.
It's not his story.
I already know. I feel like I already know your rankings, and you probably already know mine too, but that's fine. That's what happens
this
when you
is
do
so
enough of
weird,
these in a
though.
row.
Right.
Larceny number 1.
But I feel like I've brought you over a little bit to my side with the old tub.
You definitely did. Actually, as I even started talking about it, I had to give Old Tub more credit. It happened just as we were speaking because it's absurd for me to say that that is a way more complex bourbon than the other ones we've tasted and then be like, it might be number 3. No, it's not number 3.
This one was Old Tub.
Yeah.
I put it up with Old Forester.
Which one?
1920.
Yeah,
1920. It's still not better than 1920, but I understand the reference now.
Are you whispering about?
Yeah, we're whispering. No. We're talking about the bourbon, not you. She can't hear me when I whisper. No. We're talking about the bourbon, not you. But yeah, so the 1920 is still better, but it's just not. It's not. That's right. Yeah, it can't be as good as the 1920, right. But it's almost as good. Yeah, I mean, almost as good might be a slight stretch, but it's good. Why do they like to whisper? What's wrong with them? Creepy fox.
No. Pam, seriously. Which... Just point to the one you think that it tastes
Oh,
like.
I fucked up.
1910.
Damn it. That has banana in it, so no.
It's close. I wanted this one. But that's okay. You were close. But I know how much you like Old Forester, so I think that's a ringing endorsement. This is somebody who's never had it.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I trust Pam's palate more than I trust a lot of people's palate. I can say that for sure.
Nice.
You-
Although I think you were whispering bad things about
No,
it.
we were for real talking about the bourbon. For real.
I don't know if the whispering will come over on the...
Yeah, you'll hear it. Yeah,
So
no.
you'll hear it. We
Yeah.
weren't saying anything bad.
No, it was for sure about the bourbon, not you. But no, I do. I respect your palate because you taste a lot of these with us when we do these. I respect your palate, without a doubt.
She no doubt has a really good palate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where do I want this? I think this one is going to go.
I like to do mine on the fly. And don't just automatically put Larceny 8. Don't.
I'm missing a bourbon from here. What do you mean don't automatically put Larceny 8?
That's what you're probably missing. Missing. Jesus.
Here's what's funny is I feel like we've both been fucking up our words some, and this is nowhere near the drunkest we've been on this podcast.
No.
Not even close.
That Buffalo Trace podcast.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I didn't even think Jeff was gonna make it.
Oh, I know.
Dude, him and Tommy.
I thought he might get arrested by the end of that podcast.
Me and you had by far the least amount of sleep and drank the most the night before, and they were. Tommy and Jeff were shit-faced. Jeff yelled at us.
Yeah.
He said, "Shut the fuck up. It's my time to talk." Yeah. And it looked around at all of us and goes, "Am I wrong?"
I told Dave afterwards, I was like, man, is he really going to drive home? And he was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He does live right down the street.
Yep. And he was on a 10-speed.
Yeah, he was riding a bike.
I had him locked in. I had him hooked up to the back of my car. And Pam drove. So, on a 10-speed.
Perfect.
Like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I do. I hated it the first time I saw it. Loved it the second time I saw it.
Saw a decent movie last night called The Rental. You know how all the new movies come out on Netflix and so, kind of a scary take, but just so not a scary movie per se, not a horror movie.
What was it called? The Rental?
The Rental. It was decent. It was a very interesting take on it. Two couples, they rent a beach house.
Okay.
Off the coast of Oregon. Beautiful. And it's like too good to be true. And of course it was. And here they find cameras in there. They're like, they know they're being filmed.
That sounds like the movie with fucking Luke Wilson and Kate Beckinsale. About the hotel room. Bean, look this up.
What is it?
Look up Kate Beckinsale, Luke Wilson.
No Vacancy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah.
Isn't that similar?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the only difference is it's just location.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit different of a twist at the end.
Oh, I keep fucking this up. So we have we this is maybe the longest pause we've ever had. I was glad when you started talking about the movie. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
No.
So these are
Fill it up.
These are very similar movies because this couple goes on a vacation and
Great movie.
Yeah, they go on a vacation. They're staying in a hotel room and they find cameras and stuff, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they end up fucking some people are there to kill them. I can't really remember it that well, but is that also how The Rental goes?
Kind of.
So it's like the Airbnb of No Vacancy.
Yeah, and I don't want to ruin it because it's literally just a new movie out, and now you know how they're all just streaming right away because people can't go to movie theaters.
Right. Which I can't decide if I like or hate.
I know.
Because I like having them at my house.
Yeah.
But I like for my favorite movies to go see them at what I think is going to be my favorite movies to go see them at the theater.
Yeah.
Because I love a good movie theater. You ever been to that Lowe's?
Yeah.
Do you know they let that go to shit?
Oh, I know.
They let it just fall fucking apart.
Yep.
Do you go up to the VIP section where you can take in booze and some of them are missing their tables? Like, what have you guys done? What did you do? I wanted to throw all of my birthday parties there. And now I'm like,
now you can't do any of that.
now I'm like, if I don't like the girl that much, I might bring her here. Sorry, ex-girlfriend.
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, you're going to hate my rankings.
Really?
I think so. I think we're going to be different, and that's what's good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if people can tell, but we're different people.
We are. We're both bald.
We both wear glasses.
Yeah.
Steve's slightly cuter, though.
And we're both bastards of bourbon.
That's right.
But, I think this is actually the perfect chance to put a very important message out there is in bourbon and in life, you can disagree on things and still be friends.
That's right. It's right. It's a very good point. I mean, just because someone has a different point of view on something doesn't mean you have to hate them.
Doesn't mean you have to hate them.
Right.
You can have different points of views. And you know what? If you guys talk enough, you may be able to meld those points of views into a more beautiful point of view.
Right. Yeah.
And this was our PBS section. But for real, I really do feel that's it.
This was our promo for Latter-day of Saints.
Yeah.
Everybody get along.
I actually really do feel that's an important message because people are hating each other because of different points of views. Stop it. Stop it.
Mask, no mask, vaccine, no vaccine.
Yeah. I even have people...
Leave the house, don't leave the house.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy.
I even have people on Facebook, which I think Facebook is a terrible way to communicate, and I probably shouldn't engage in it as much, but I even have people that I've known and loved for years that when I slightly contradict what they're saying, they assume I hate them.
Yeah.
No, I love you. I know.
just disagree with you on
Right.
this particular point.
Right, I know you're an inherently good person.
Yeah.
So I like you. I love you. We just don't agree here, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And it actually happened. The last Gathering of Fools podcast I did, this guy I didn't know as well, but I did know him, and I've done non-business things with him and business things with him, and we were getting in this argument about tech stuff being chipped. And we just weren't understanding each other through Facebook. And I said, hey, man, listen, this is a bad way to communicate. Why don't you come on the podcast? And he did.
Yeah.
And then we realized, one, not only were we actually not that far apart, but even if we were, that neither of us were trying to insult the other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't. And he actually brought up a stat. It's a really interesting podcast. It's the one with Joe Scalise. I recommend anybody listen to it. He's hyper intelligent. He owns the VR place in Wintersville, the virtual reality place in Wintersville.
Yeah.
He's hyper intelligent, and he was pointing out certain stats. I can't remember the numbers now, but writing, the writing of words is only 7% of communication or something like that, and the rest is body language and tone,
Yeah.
and you can't put that across.
I can see your eyes in your
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huge difference.
Huge difference, because now when we were talking, we knew that neither of us were trying to insult the other, and we weren't trying to attack the other. We were actually just trying to have a conversation about this subject that we both wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what gets lost, unfortunately, in this day and age of social media, in texting. I mean, you could take someone's text and they.
How many times does it happen?
Yeah, and one of my all-time favorite Key and Peele episodes is the texting episode. So, one guy's meaning something completely different, and the next thing you know, Peele is going over there with a bat with spikes in it, ready to kill him.
Right, because he doesn't understand what the point he's trying to get across.
Right.
Yeah. And that's literally what happened with me and him. And once we were in the same room, it was awesome. We talked for 3 hours. I can't wait to have him back on. He's hyper intelligent. He's very into technology, obviously. But it's just crazy to me that people will take anything anybody says from somebody that you know is a friend. You know they're a friend, and you because of just text.
One little thing.
Yeah, well, and actually, the point I wanted to get across that I forgot when you told that story because it was funny to me. But he said the text is supposed to be used for hey, I'm stopping by the grocery store on the way home. Hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. Hey, this, hey, that. Not full conversations.
Right.
It's just not. It's not a good use of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's get to our rankings.
Yeah, can't agree more. And I deal with that so much with the business that I'm in.
Yeah.
From all sorts of different people, and it's crazy how many times I'm trying to sit there and look at this text and try and interpret it as to what they really meant by it.
Right. You almost have to, if you want to send an appropriate text where you're actually trying to get a message across, you have to overemphasized, like an author of a book. Like, listen, my mood right now is happy and joyful, and I want to let you know that. You know what I mean? It's absurd.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So before we get to those,
what are we drinking while we do them?
yeah.
Yeah. Let me finish this old tub. Little bit of water. By that, obviously, I meant a lot because I poured a lot.
Oh, time.
And now this is going to
Look at yourself.
this is going to attack your palate. I'm assuming because you actually have tried this before, but you didn't really remember it. So I'm thinking you were drunker than you thought you were when you tried it.
Okay.
Because I said, "Have you tried it yet?" And you said no, and Jeff said, "Yes, you did."
It's odd that Jeff would remember, not you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the last podcast proves that out.
Which, by the way, Jeff, we love you. We can't wait to have you on another Bastards of Bourbon.
Yes.
All right, so am I going?
I feel like that should be the next one. Tommy and Jeff back in.
Oh yeah, has to be.
Just like old times.
Has to be. I really, we've been trying.
I
to
like Bean right where he is. I'm sorry, Jacob. That's bad.
No.
I mean, now he's going to be.
Jacob is our guy, but it was nice to have Bean with that knowledge. What we need is that fifth mic.
Yes.
That's what we need to get going and have a fifth mic.
Because he's got way too much knowledge to not.
Right, which is crazy because he doesn't drink.
Water.
But so am I going first or you going first?
I believe last time I went first.
Yeah, so I'll go first this time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tell me that's not a lot of black pepper all up in your face.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's delicious.
You know what? You know I like spicy.
It's really good. This is.
He likes his sauce spicy.
This goes up there with Pikesville for me. I think it's excellent, man. Really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, so
Knob Creek has upped their game for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean they're coming out with some. They got the 9, the 12.
Yeah.
What's this? 12.
This is actually this is their cash strength rye whiskey, and they do this. They've only done it twice so far. I got the barreled in 2010. I want to know if Jeff has a different one because Jeff has one and there's two. But they don't do it very often. This is 63.5%, so 127 proof. This is we can't call it a bourbon, but it is a big boy whiskey. Because it's not a bourbon.
That's right.
It's not a bourbon.
It's rye.
So it's a big boy rye whiskey, and it's excellent, man. The pepper comes through so strong, does it not? Anyway, so the fucking rankings. So we're doing. We're starting with 1, right? That's what we usually do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the clear cut number 1 is Sazerac. Sazerac to me was maybe the most complex. It's the most I've ever gotten mint from any whiskey, period. I love the little bit of spiciness it has. It has a good mouthfeel. I really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed it. My number 2, which changed as I kept drinking it. I thought maybe it would be number 3. It is number 2. It is Old Tub. And Old Tub, I am shocked to say that if you mix Widow Jade in 1920, it is a very fucking similar.
We did it right here.
It is very fucking similar. But I do think I have to give it to number 2. Very complex. I really enjoyed it. I really don't even know where to go with the tasting notes. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it more with every sip I took, which is why it fucking changed. Number 3 may not be a surprise to anybody except for the fact that it wasn't number 1. Benchmark is what I'm going with.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going with Benchmark for my number 3. I'm actually going to say that number 3, number 4, and number 5 all could have probably been a coin flip for me.
Sure.
And
I agree with that 100%.
So my number 4 was actually the Ancient Age, which I thought I was going to fucking hate.
I know. So good. It was. It was like...
I thought I was going to hate it. And then my number 5 is Old Granddad. My number 6 was the Redemption. My number 7 was the Evan Williams Single Barrel. And it literally just barely squeaked out Larceny. I don't really have to talk about why Larceny was number 8 for me, right? I've already done that.
Yeah. That has been covered well.
In multiple podcasts.
Yes. Why does he keep talking about Larceny?
He hates it so much, but he keeps talking about it. He begs Steve to buy it.
So my question is Larceny to Weller Green. Which one do you like more?
Weller Green, come on up.
I'll let you get that while I go over my rankings. Okay, my rankings are quite a bit different.
They're that different.
Quite a bit.
Oh, shit.
Okay, our number 1 is the same. And I don't know how, like, I can't stare you in the eyes and tell you that Sazerac Rye wasn't the best we had tonight. It's number 1.
There's just, to me, it's clear cut.
Yeah.
There's just no way. Yeah.
It stood above. There was no doubt about it. I knew it when we had it, and I knew what Old Tub tastes like. I was like, wow, Old Tub's going to be hard to beat that.
Yeah.
So that was my number 1. And just a side little note I wrote down, and I'm not sure why I wrote it like this. Smooth. Like it all like I like it. that was my tasting note.
Mine was Sazerac. Oh, hell. Yes.
My number 2 was Old Tub.
Yep.
Which I love. It's already been spoken of several times. Now, this is where we start to get way off on our rankings. Old Granddad is my number 3. I'm a big fan. You know I'm a big fan.
Right. But to me, I said that was a coin flip between 3, 4, and 5. Any one of them could have taken number 3 for me.
Absolutely. But as it goes out, this is where it gets really different. My number 4, and it probably surprised me the most, other than H&H of all the bourbons we had, was Redemption.
It surprised me.
I really liked it a lot.
It did surprise me.
I didn't like how it smelled. I wrote that down here. Smelled a little bit like ass.
Yeah, it didn't smell great. I agree.
No. But the vanilla, the cherry, I liked it a lot. It was smooth. It was a nice mouthfeel. Buttery, oily.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 5, Larceny.
Steve, I would like you to leave my house.
As we've already chronicled, we will agree to disagree.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not like I'm giving it a glowing review. It's number 5.
Well, yeah, and like we said when we were actually tasting it, a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
A lot of people like it.
I think what I like about it is the overall smoothness of it.
It is smooth.
Is it extremely complex? No.
Yeah.
Is it a little bit complex? Maybe.
Tastes like feet.
But I like the wheat in it and the caramel. It just has a nice after lingering flavor to it.
It's got a lingering flavor, that's for sure.
Number 6 was Ancient Age.
How shocking is that
I know.
for you? I don't care where you put it. We both expected that to be number 8.
Like, not even close.
Not even close, I expected it to be number 8.
Like, I'm throwing that bottle out of the house.
Yeah. Like, I was going to tell
I'm hitting Bean in the face with it.
Jesus Christ. All I did was buy it.
Yeah. You take this shit back.
I was going to tell Bean, like, I thought after this, I was going to tell Bean, like, hey, just take this home with you. You don't drink. Use it for cough medicine or something. No, I'm good with it. I'll keep it.
It was a pleasant surprise. It's a bottle I'll probably get to have at the bar just to have.
It's a good one. One probably for old fashions. Because I'm a firm believer. I think I messed up when I was trying to talk about this earlier, but a 20 bottle or less to me is that you can find a good one for old fashions is the perfect old fashioned bottle. Yeah. You don't want to spend a decent amount of money on something that you're going to be mixing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I would say the same for Benchmark, which is my number 7, and I had a really hard time with this. I actually crossed it out twice. So it's almost like a 6A, 6B, because I put them almost at the exact same level because I really like Benchmark too.
Well, and you know what? Where I think our differences here are is as much as I've been heralded as the bourbon guy recently because people have been listening to me spout about it at Garden Grill. Is you have a more experienced palate. I have a less experienced palate. So to me, those are smoother, easier, a little bit sweeter to drink. And for you, you're looking for a little bit of a different thing. So maybe that's where our differences are.
It probably is.
Yeah.
It probably is. But I would be fine with flip-flopping those.
Yeah.
Or just saying, well, they're even.
Yeah.
Because when I drank them, that's what I thought. But they're different in their own way.
But they are definitely
Benchmark's
different.
a little sweeter.
Yeah.
You get a little more, slightly more spiciness out of the Ancient Age.
I agree.
And that I tend to lean towards those.
Well, you know what's funny is I feel like I really like things when they're really spicy.
Yeah.
And I don't like things when they're slightly spicy.
Yeah.
Because like this, Knob Creek, spicy.
Yeah. It's black pepper all over
It's
the place.
black pepper
Yeah.
everywhere, and I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
But you give me a little bit of spice, and I'm like,
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm a weirdo.
Makes sense. Which would leave my number 8 as the Evan Williams single barrel.
So to our friend that we're not going to bring up his name, that raves about Evan Williams single barrel, we love you. You're wrong.
At least out of this lineup.
Well, so what? You're going to say maybe it'd be different against a higher range lineup?
No. No. A lower range lineup.
Yeah, ones that are $5 or less. Listen, we had two $10 bourbons on here.
And I will say this. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I'm not going to buy a bottle for...
I will not buy another bottle of it. And the big problem with me is I don't drink bourbon anything but straight. So that's going to be sitting here for somebody who wants to mix it with something or...
And correct me if I'm wrong. Was it your 7?
It was my 7 to Larceny.
And it was my 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the one that there are 3 bourbons we firmly agree on this list. We firmly agree that Sazerac is the number 1.
Yes.
We firmly agree that Old Tub is number 2. And we firmly agree that Evan Williams is not good.
Right. Which I think 3 out of 8, that's not bad.
That's not bad. And honestly, I like when we're not exactly the same. I prefer that.
That's what that's what this is supposed to be about. Because if we're going to go down the road and we're going to be the same, people are going to be like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. These guys, well, and not only will they say, I don't know, but what they will say is, well, these two guys just drink bourbon and then try to get as close together as possible on their rankings.
Yeah.
And we don't want that either. We want people to know what we feel about them.
Right.
And maybe as they keep watching, they will identify with your palate, or they'll identify with my palate, or they'll identify with one of our guest palates. And they'll be able to say, okay, I'm going to follow what he likes and try to buy some of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It. Like, I would love nothing more than that someone come up to you at Garden Grill and be like, you know, I really like the bourbons that Steve Bolger likes.
Right.
What do you tell me?
Tell me, so what should I buy? And I would actually have a good idea of what to buy. I'm like, listen, find spicy.
Now, is that ever going to happen? No.
Probably just going to punch Dave in the face.
Yeah.
Listen, honestly, you'd be surprised how many people approach me about the podcast.
That's great.
And we don't get a crazy amount of listeners. I'm not going to say like, man, we're getting thousands of listeners. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, we get a couple hundred typically between the video and the audio. But those people I run into, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
The first time it really happened, like from somebody that was a complete stranger. I had a complete stranger come up to me and tell me that they've been listening to the podcast. Now, I don't know if it was Bastards. I don't know if it was Gathering. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah.
And I handled it really poorly because I didn't know how to react because I have no idea who this person is. I was like, oh, well, thank you very much. And I just continued about my day. Like, I should have stood there and talked to her.
Yeah.
You know? But I do think we need to try this. It's the Weller Green Label. I'm only going to put a little bit in here. Bean, can you look over at that computer and see what time we're at?
That says 4 hours, but that's not right.
That says 4 hours? There's no way that's right.
An hour and 55 minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
How does that say 4 hours? We must not have pulled it back to the beginning. I know why. I'll fix it. That's going to be a hassle, though.
Well, what are you gonna have? 2 hours of dead air?
I just got to delete it. I just got to figure out how to make it work. But it actually smells decent on the nose. Sweetness. Pull up the tasting notes, Bean.
Come on, Bean. Come on.
It smells pretty goddamn good on the nose, does it not?
Or you can pull up Kate Beckinsale again. That's fine.
Yeah, we're about that life. That smells pretty good on the nose. It's not better than the Sazerac.
Nope.
It's not
not.
better than the old tub.
Nope. I put it middle road.
Yeah.
I mean, would I put it 3? Maybe.
Yeah.
4.
I might put it 3. 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 4. It's better than I remember,
Yeah.
but you have to also understand this
What we've had.
exactly, and what we drank when we tried it before. When we
Right.
tried it before, we're putting it up against all these things. Do I still think somebody fucking paying $100 and some for this is absurd?
Absurd.
Yeah,
Absurd.
absurd.
Yeah.
We are putting it number 3, number 4 on bottles that all of them are below $30.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Number 3 or number 4.
Yeah.
On all bottles that are under $30.
I would maybe. I'm gonna have to try it again. I was gonna say I'd maybe put it above Old Granddad, but your Old Granddad was 5. Mine was 3.
Right. I don't know. It's hard for me to put it. So my coin flip was Benchmark, Ancient Age, Old Granddad.
Yeah.
It would be. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but it would be a fight to put it above any of them. Right?
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't.
It just. It's not worth more than its actual MSRP.
No.
People paying $100 for it is bananas to me. I wouldn't pay 50. I wouldn't pay 40.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay 30.
Yeah.
We're talking about a coin flip for me, not for you, but a coin flip for me between two $10 bottles.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have it on the shelf. I have another bottle coming. Maybe you want it for yours.
Maybe.
But I don't. I would not spend more than its MSRP on it.
Yeah.
I would not. But it belonged in this tasting.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, do we have anything else we want to go over or anything else we want to taste? Have you had everything? You haven't had that barrel single barrel.
Which one?
That barrel single barrel.
By the Pikesville.
Yeah.
You think we should try it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna piss. You grab it.
No, I was gonna piss.
All right. You piss. I'll grab it. Then I'll piss.
Bean, you're just gonna have to start talking.
No, don't fucking grab it. I gotta piss.
My first one.
Oh man. Bean, it would definitely be nice to have you. I want Jacob controlling the screen,
Yeah.
but it would be nice to have you with a mic for all of these Bastards of Bourbon. It really would.
I feel like that's not the right one, but
What? Does it show a picture of it?
no.
It's that one. Go down. Go down. No, that's not it. I lied.
None of them.
Yeah, sure isn't. Sure isn't. Yeah, I really liked having you with a mic. You actually did it perfectly. You interjected where you needed to. You didn't try to take it over. I really enjoyed it. I think we need to figure out how to get this. And me and Jacob have had to come up with a couple ideas. So hopefully hopefully we'll be able to figure that out. I found one of those things that we're using right there, that Scarlet, that red box.
Yeah.
I found one that does 8. 6 was really what I wanted, but there's really nothing that does 6.
Yeah.
And I like. So I think we're gonna get that for the 8 instead of going with the more complex stuff that we talked about, just because we're just not fucking that advanced. We're just not.
Well, and you got to fix your house up too. So I mean,
Jesus Christ, so I got to. He actually brought up he's gonna try to figure out whether or not we can just buy another 4.
yeah.
Because
And
we're
hook 'em
talking
together.
about a few $100 difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he talked about if we can do another 4 and kind of sync them up together.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that works out. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I definitely want to be able to do at least 6. So the 4 people on Peanut Gallery or you and Jacob. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And oh, she got really excited. But I got to figure out how to do that. The new studio space is going to, once we get it done, is going to allow for a lot more. Steve, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even grab that bottle.
All right, where is it?
Right there.
Nope, right next to the Pikesville.
Yeah.
You knew the Pikesville wasn't the barrel.
I just wanted.
It's like, but I want this
I
one.
want the Pikesville. I like it, the Pikesville. I feel like I'm talking like Tommy now. I like it. I like it.
So this is definitely not the right one, but it's the only one we can find.
So this is. What is this one?
I'm assuming just the regular. But that
The
the one that you got is the regular. This is the single barrel.
All right, so I'm going to give you a little talk about that. It's 14 years, which is it's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Let's call it 107. It's in between 107 and 108 proof. And very, I don't know if you agree with this bean or not, but I think somewhat hard to find in this area.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
But yet, for whatever reason, it is plentiful in the South.
Yeah.
You want to try and hide sometimes, and when you're on just audio, you can just kind of hide. But when they can see you, you can't do it. You know, like if I want to like just slip my hand down, scratch my nuts, I can't do it.
I'm going to do it. I don't even know. I put these 2 over here. I don't even remember what they are now.
Oh, for the love of God.
Infinity glass.
All right, Pam, you're going to want to try this one for sure.
Is it that good?
I haven't tried it yet.
But it's super rare. We can't
Easy.
get them around here at all.
Easy now, Tiger.
He pulled that fucking bottle right away from me. You haven't poured it for yourself yet?
He's like,
Oh,
this
okay.
is not yours now, Dave.
I don't remember what this is. It smells delicious. I think they all smell delicious.
I mean,
to me
one
at this
thing
point.
that I think Dave and I agree upon, anything that's on this shelf, and he knows the same if he's over at my place, I mean, it's both of ours.
Oh yeah,
We've
100%.
collaborated on
100%.
on many. You and Tommy have collaborated on
Yeah.
more than half, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
There's unless something for all my podcasts, anything on that shelf is available except for because Bastards of Bourbon have specifically bought together Stag, E.H. Taylor single barrel,
Yeah.
right?
Hancock.
Hancock. Well, Hancock was a
Han-
donation, but that's for Bastards of Bourbon. So yes, so those
So the up above shelf.
is all Bastards of Bourbon.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, well, and
And I was surprised to see this so low. Although Pikesville's kind of low too. But
Well-
I mean, you got to. I mean, yeah.
the main reason for it was because those bottles fit on that shelf because that shelf is unnegotiable. That shelf that they're sitting on doesn't move.
It's a tiny shelf.
Well, and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to have all the Jeffersons because I gotta tell you, I think Jefferson's may be my second favorite distillery.
Well, I'm a huge fan, and you and I both are together. There are other people that I know that are, big bourbon drinkers, and they're like, one in particular told me straight to my face, Jefferson's is trash. I go, what is wrong with you?
That's crazy to me. That is absolutely absurd to me. To me, it is. To me, for the whole collection of bourbons, like I love Old Forester, but there are so many Jeffersons that I would drink over their bottom stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For collectively, I think they have the second most bourbons that I would want to drink on a daily basis. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. So their lower end is way better than their lower end, is how I take that.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It like every one of those Jeffersons up there, like we gave, well, not we, you gave that Chateau Pichon Baron a lower grade in that Jefferson tastings we did than I did, but you would still drink that, I'm sure, over a lot of bourbon.
Right.
Am I right?
Right. Yeah, I was just upset with it because of the price point.
Yeah,
That's why I ranked it lower. I ranked it lower because of price point and flavor.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I put it at, Yellowstone area.
You would probably still drink that over. I would say I would drink that over. The only thing that would be questionable for me on this table, not for me personally, but maybe for you, is Sazerac.
Yes.
Right? That
Yes.
Sazerac is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
That Sazerac for that price point is
But if you gave me the
absurd.
choice, I would probably take Chateau Baron.
Right.
Chiron.
Right. You probably would. The Jefferson, that line, we need, even though we've tasted them before, we do need to still do some tastings against other bottles.
Right.
Like I know today you were like, but we've already done this, but we haven't done it in this light.
Right.
And sometimes we're gonna retaste bottles, but we're doing comparisons and we're ranking them.
Right.
Which the only other podcast I enjoy watching about whiskey or bourbon is Whiskey Tribe. They also do Whiskey Vault. I enjoy the Whiskey Vault ones more. And they don't like doing secondary tastings, but they also don't rank them.
Yeah.
They just taste them, tell people what they think of them, and call
And
it a
then
day.
move it on.
Yeah, we rank them.
Yeah.
So since we rank them, we can retry things because we're comparing them to other things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for us,
and I still like ranking them. I do.
I like ranking them. I think it's important.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I really do. They're also not trying 8 to 10 bourbons every time.
Like what, 3 or 4?
Yes. But hey, that's why we're the
bastards of bourbon. So I feel like the next one needs to be, and I'm going to say it on air, and we talk about, we're going to have meetings, and we don't have meetings.
We never have meetings. we have a group text message.
Yeah. But we've been talking about a long time. We need to do the Ryes.
We do need to do the Ryes.
We got to do the Ryes.
And we have more Ryes now than we've ever had.
Yeah. And one of my biggest reasons why believing this now is because I feel like this is going to be
I feel like it's going to
up there really high
with some of the more expensive ones.
Yeah.
Because even though I love this and I love how peppery it is, I might still put it above there. But I feel like that Sazerac is more complex because this just smacks you in the face with black pepper. Yeah. And I love it. And I really enjoy it. I may enjoy it more than the Sazerac. I'm not sure because I didn't compare them side by side. But that is more complex.
Yeah. Now, I tell you this. Out of this bourbon barrel, my God, I get a ton of cherry out of that.
Ton of cherry. Yeah, which
it like smacked me right in the face.
Which I never really got cherry on one of the tastings we've done till Stag. And everybody says, oh, cherry is in most bourbons. And I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I do agree with you.
Yeah.
This has cherry.
And this, it's prevalent.
Yeah. Oh, is this it?
Yep.
No, it's the same one we had. So I don't freaking know.
But
It
but
just says barrel bourbon. I don't fucking know.
I definitely get the cherry. And you know what's funny is, it may be because of all the bourbons we had prior and the big lower rug, but I enjoyed this. I'm enjoying this way more this time than I did the first couple times I had it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm comparing it to, people ask me how I keep all these bottles. Well, because I never hammer one. When I drink by myself here at the house, I'll take one from the top shelf,
Yeah, just a little bit.
one from that shelf, one from that shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't like hammering my good bottles when I'm sitting here by myself, because I want to share them with people.
Right.
And I think that's a very key thing to bourbon. I want
Absolutely.
to share good bourbon with other people.
It's the most important thing, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I completely
So
agree.
with the rye, if you guys wait, I might be able to get a Willet rye.
He was talking about this. I actually,
How long would the wait have to be?
Like
Would we talk
when
about?
I go on vacation, hopefully.
I have a guess.
And when is that?
So I go on vacation the 7th of this month.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'd
So,
like
like,
to set
next
one,
week?
what, 2 weeks from now?
Honestly, I don't care how often we do this. I love it. Like, listen, I love all my podcasts, but this one where I get to get drunk with my good friend Steve, it's hard for me to say that there's one above this. But I actually have another guy. He is become a recent friend. They call him Bees. For some reason, his actual name is awesome, and I'm having a hard time remembering what his full name is right now. But
Pam, you're going to have to try this one.
he is donating a bottle of rye that you can only get at this distillery, and it's a West Virginia distillery, and it's a rye, and you can only get it from the distillery. He just happens to go there, so he's donating that bottle to the Bastards of Bourbon. So I feel like since he did that, I think maybe that's going to be me, you, Jeff, and Bees.
Okay.
And he's got a serious palate. When he saw 1920,
So you're cutting Tommy out? You're not even going to try and get the fifth mic?
I don't know if I'll be able to get the fifth mic. I have to remodel a bathroom. I have to fucking change this over there. I have to do all these
What are
things.
we talking about? How much does a fifth mic cost?
You might be willing to buy the new equipment. You might be willing to. For everything I'm trying to do, it's a little bit out of my range right now. You may be willing to do it. I'll shoot you the numbers.
All right.
You might be willing to do it, because this is the one we will definitely use it on, is Bastards of Bourbon.
Right.
And maybe we'll split it.
And I like having Bean in on it
That's
as
my
much
thing.
as possible.
And honestly, the next step is not 6. There is no 6. It's 4 or 8.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So maybe we can figure out a way to split that or sing. It's hard for me to tell where my financials are right now. It's really hard for me to tell. And you've already donated so much. I hate to ask you to do more. We'll talk.
I really like this.
We'll talk. We'll figure it out.
It's definitely so different than anything we've had tonight, though.
Man, it belongs. This is one of the ones that would be in the tasting with BJ, which
Yeah.
we really need to get him on.
Yeah.
Not only is he somebody who is newer but loving bourbon,
Yeah.
he is also somebody that has contributed to. He didn't end up getting yours, but he did contribute to a lot of our friends' collections.
Yeah.
He needs to be on the podcast. We need to get him on.
Yep.
So maybe that's one we sneak in before the rye, because this is one of the ones he got me.
Yep.
But that with that rye tasting, if we get the more mics, yeah, we'll add Tommy on. But when somebody donates specifically a rye, and we're gonna do a rye tasting,
We got to have him in.
gotta have him
agree.
in. You have to have him in. And Tommy isn't.
And that I feel like the rye tasting is going to be a very serious tasting.
And I have to be at that one.
Yes.
Because I mean that's I've been living and breathing rye for a while now.
Yeah.
I mean it's been my favorite.
I feel like it's the next step, bourbon then rye, and I can't say that I put a rye above Stag or Blanton's, but I like a lot of rye.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, we're also gonna have to get our hands on for that tasting, and I don't know when we're gonna get it because it's a seasonal, and I don't actually like it that much, but or at all. But the Angel's Envy.
Oh, we can get one. Yeah.
Okay.
I know exactly where too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if they just let us use it for the
Yeah.
tasting, then we'll give
Yeah.
it back.
Yep.
Sorry, we drank it all.
That's okay. Manny, you're on.
Oh, I forgot. Manny doesn't even like it.
Yeah. He's got a whole bottle unopened.
Yeah. So we'll
and he can just be in the peanut gallery. He'll be fine with
he'll
that.
be fine with that. He'll be happy to let us taste it for the tasting.
Yeah.
Manny is somebody I actually talk to frequently now.
Nice.
Like I probably there's a good chance me and him text each other once a week. And I love Patrick too. Don't get me wrong, but Manny is just more prone to texting.
Yeah.
And I really like Manny, man.
Oh,
I'm really sad that he came to town, tried to connect with me, and it went bad. I'm really upset about it. I really am, because he's a good guy, man.
Yeah, great
he's
guy.
He's a good guy. He's a young guy, and he loves bourbon. I'm really upset that it went awry. I can't wait till the next time he's in town. Yeah. I don't care if we do a podcast or not. I want to drink bourbon with him.
He's actually be true to our daughter.
But we will get another. That shouldn't go on air. We will get another.
Okay, because I was going to dive deep into that.
No,
that's not going on air.
We will get another podcast with them, and I say them, I mean, because I'd like to have them both on together again.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just a nice pair.
Yeah.
And I think I listen. So I was flying out to Chicago earlier this week, and I'm trying to pull up podcasts on what I've downloaded. And so the one I had that was downloaded on my phone was that podcast with Manny and Pat. And I had only listened to it once, so I listened to the whole thing again. And I am laughing out loud on the plane.
Man.
Jeff's like, he's like, what are you listening to? It was great.
They both did such a good job. I'll tell you what I want to do when we do the next one with those two is I want to drink a little bit beforehand for the sake of Patrick.
Right. Just get them
Yes.
get them lubed up.
Because Pat
lube them up,
man,
baby.
Patrick, one, his knowledge is great. He came through strong about halfway through and then kept getting stronger to the point where even for entertainment value, to the point where when we stopped, he kept getting stronger. After we stopped, he there was a point where he laughed for a good minute. And I was like, man, I wish that laughter was on air.
It's good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed both of them. That was a good podcast, man. I can't wait to just keep doing more of these. I'm so glad you're back.
But it's fun to listen to them after a while later. Mm-hmm. You end up appreciating them for a lot more than what they originally were, because I'll listen to them, like, as soon as you tell me, you're like, oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Listen to it. I'm like, that seems like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then you go back, you're like, oh, shit, there were a lot of good nuggets in there. Mm-hmm. You didn't pick it up the first time.
Yeah.
It's like watching a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Except it
like,
wasn't except it wasn't bad the first time.
I might hate these guys, but if I listen to it again, they might be likable.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I think editing is impossible with what we do. To edit it and try to shrink it down is impossible. It would take hours for me to do. It takes hours for me to do now. Like, maybe if we ever get paid for this, then maybe we have some guy that does the editing.
Yeah.
But I just like the way it flows. Because you see us, like when we first started this one, we were a little slow, as we get some bourbon in us now, we're like, okay, we're on fire.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I think that's the perfect way for a bastard of bourbon to do it. Like, hey, we're gonna talk, we're gonna really try to give you some information on these. And then as we go on, it's like, we're going to give you the information, but there's going to be a lot of shit you got to shift through that you're actually going to love.
Yeah.
And I just think it's perfect. I really do. I enjoy this podcast, Bastards of Bourbon, so much. Like, the break made me realize it even more. It really did.
Yeah, I was not happy about the break. Trust me.
Well, and I was not going to do it because you sent a text and you said, I understand if you have to do one in the meantime. Like, no, I'll fill it with other stuff. I'm not doing a Bastards of Bourbon without you. There's no way. Like, if we ever got to the point where we made money from specifically Bastards of Bourbon, then we might have to figure that shit out. Because then you got to put it out because we're getting paid for it. You know what I mean? But until then, there's no way if me or you aren't here that
It's not happening.
It's not happening. It's not. I can't do it without you, man. I can't.
Appreciate it.
I can't.
I appreciate it.
Our chemistry to me is something we've found during COVID, and it might be one of the few good things we found during COVID.
That's right.
You know?
True bourbon romance.
It is a true bourbon bromance. I tell people all the time, like when I talk about the podcast, I say, me and Steve were friends beforehand. Like we were friends. Like we would talk. But
hang out, drink some beers together, whatever.
Yeah, we'd see each other, randomly and hang out that whole time we were there. But the friendship has taken another step since we started doing the podcast, and I'm glad it did. Yeah, and without question.
That is a friend.
Without question. He literally, when I texted him, he said, "You just tell me what day and what time, and I'll be there." But then he forgot.
But he still came.
He did. He did still come.
We got some juicy shit on us today, so I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah, well, but you guys may have got some juicy shit on you, but you guys dropped a vanity on my head.
We didn't mean to, okay?
I mean, I was surprised you weren't bleeding after that, to be honest with you. I mean, it dropped like straight on his head.
I tried to tell him to take the screws out, and he's like,
did.
"Nah, it's okay."
He got stubborn, right?
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck, we're gonna move it without taking it off."
I don't
And
want
was
these
like,
extra
"Really?"
steps. I want to get this
Yeah,
done.
I know. I'm the
So
same way.
he can blame us for dropping it on him,
Right.
but it's his fault.
Yeah, but Steve and Bean definitely they were leading the charge on the carry of that, and the vanity fell. But honestly, I'm glad you guys didn't try to drop it and catch the vanity, because we probably would have busted that thing all up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I caught it with my head. I got whacked. It was pretty serious.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He doesn't even know where he is right now.
Sadly, I do. No, I am actually really excited for the new house. I'm more excited for when I get the podcast studio done.
Well, bottom line is, I think what you do is good stuff. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't a believer in it. But it's not just this Gathering of Fools. I mean, your podcasts are good. Yeah. They're not only good, they're great. And I'm just happy to be a part of this. I think it's only getting better.
I agree.
I think being involved is a really good thing. I love having him involved. I think that makes it better. It will just constantly evolve.
Yeah, it'll just constantly evolve, keep getting better. And I do agree with you.
Until the next thing you know, we make it big.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the prayer. Hopefully this is our retirement job. I really do want to get another mic, because no offense to Bean. I think Jacob is maybe a little bit better at the computer, but Bean's knowledge and everything that he brings is important as well.
It's unbelievable.
I think it's important. So I want to have the extra mics. Yeah. I really do.
Because I feel like I know a decent amount about bourbon, but I don't know anywhere near what he knows. Well, because I'm constantly checking myself with him.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that is he doesn't actually really drink.
We had a guy come into the liquor store the other day, and he goes, "So we were talking about bourbon or whatever," and then he just switched to some random tequila, and I just told him about it and everything, and he was like, "Dude," he was like, "How do you know all this shit? Like, do you know how dumb I would look if I just stood there and was like, what the fuck's this dude talking about?" Like,
if you were the manager of a liquor store and you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. I have to know at least a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
But by the way, go ahead.
No, you go.
I do have to ask, because this has nothing to do with bourbon or the podcast, but did you guys get more of the Reposado Class A Azul?
No. States out.
Well, they got it randomly in fucking Steubenville.
States out.
All right. I need that for something.
States
anyway. But yeah, man. Every time I do this podcast, it reinvigorates me. And I love them all. And actually, the one I just did, I would like you guys to listen to it to let me know what you think about it. The one I just did with Joe Scalise, the guy that owns the VR place.
Oh, I'll pull it up and listen to it this week for sure.
Yeah, I really like you to listen to it because I think it was actually really good. I'd like to have him back on. He's hyper intelligent, and we talked about surveillance capitalism, the fourth industrial revolution, and neither of those things are conspiracy theories. We've had all these industrial revolutions, but the fourth industrial revolution has to do with technology.
Sure.
Yeah, obviously.
And we're in it.
We're in it. We're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And the surveillance capitalism is obvious. Like people talking about, oh, they're going to chip us. You're going to volunteer for the chip.
Right.
But we talked about all those things, and it was to me
That's cool.
really intriguing. And it's not getting as many listens or downloads as I think it should. It's not. He doesn't. And that I'm going to have him back on to talk about conspiracy theories because he's an intelligent conspiracy theory guy. Like he's like, if we take this factual information and this factual information, we should be able to come to this conclusion.
Yeah.
But I didn't want him to go too far on that because people might think he's crazy, But so we went with just straight facts on this one. And even those facts, when you listen to it, you're like, fuck, the world is getting crazy.
Wow.
Like they literally have Internet of Things where they can put these sensors, like say in Louisiana or wherever they're getting floods or hurricanes, and they can be like, this place is flooded this much, so we have to get these people there right now. Like there's things that are very real, very much happening right now that a lot of people don't know about. Some of them sinister, some of them not.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a very intriguing podcast. And I'm very sad that I was very tired and very hungover for the beginning of it. It took me like 20-30 minutes to like get into it, and I'm upset about it. I can't wait to have him back on because I think it was really good.
Well, it sounds good, and I think you would have been like that in the Pat and Manny podcast, but I didn't give you a chance to not do that because you were shaky, you were on like a couple hours of sleep. It's well chronicled
It's
in the
well
early
chronicled. Actually, at one point I yelled, I'm like, remember how I said I needed hair of the dog?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Yeah. But you covered where I was lacking. I'll tell you the one that I can't believe we got away with was the Buffalo Trace tasting.
Oh.
Me and you put ourselves through hell
Yeah.
the night before and the day of. We put ourselves through hell. But I said I was going to ride with you. And did I not?
Rode. And you rode.
I was there.
You rode like a motherfucker.
I was there 8:10 in the morning.
Oh.
After we were drinking with your son till 4. Which, by the way, oh, God damn it. Jake, we're still playing that game.
He wants you, Jake. He has no idea what he's going to get, but he wants you.
I'm coming for you.
He said he's going to take you down. He's going to embarrass you.
Yeah. He thinks he's going to embarrass me, which he might, but I think he will also be surprised.
He's waiting.
He will be surprised. Is he the one that's moving?
Well, they're all moving.
But I mean, is he the one going to Cleveland? They're looking at apartments right now?
That's Brady.
Brady. Okay. Jake, I'm coming for you. No,
Easy now, Tiger.
Listen, I've met your two sons now. I haven't met your daughter, but fuck, you guys did a good job. Man, both those kids are awesome. I've drank with both of them. I've hung out with both of them. They're fucking awesome. They really are. They're good fucking kids.
They're
Man.
good boys.
They are good kids.
I really enjoyed
I
it.
can take no credit, but I will accept some.
I really, really enjoyed hanging out with both of them. I really did. And to me, that's really hard to say about some young 20-some-year-old people. Yeah. It's hard to say, and they are really enjoyable. I applaud you.
Thank you.
I really do.
Yeah.
But
like I said, my wife gets all the
Jake,
credit.
I'm still coming for you.
Yeah.
Carp's basketball court. We're coming. We should record some of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll take the tripod or just give Pam a cam. Yeah.
So she's got to try some of this Knob Creek Rye. This is.
I think that might attack her palate too much.
Unbelievable.
It's so good. I think it might attack her palate
This is
too much.
black pepper all day long.
Black pepper all day long. Yeah. Have you added a little bit of water?
No.
When you get it back, add a little bit of water, then you'll start to get the hints of vanilla.
Okay.
I hope that's what you get because that's what I've said. So we'll see what happens. But it is black pepper all day long. Phenomenal. I really, really enjoy it.
Doobie doobie doo.
Man, she really hated that.
Doobie doobie doo.
Is that not peppery as fuck?
Too much pepper.
Pam, I also have to compliment your outfit tonight.
Thank
You look adorable.
Doobie doobie doo.
Now, I gotta have you add a little water to that, brother. I got to, because I think you're gonna get some hints of vanilla on that.
Just way too.
It's pepper all day, and I love it. That's why I think, man, you added a lot of water.
All right.
You just dumped half a bottle of water into that motherfucker.
I'm just getting tired.
Do you not pick up some vanilla?
I do.
Yeah.
I pick up toffee.
Really, from the pepper, now you get toffee.
Yeah.
I'm telling you straight up, when I first added water to it, I got vanilla. Because now,
Definite vanilla. I think maybe even some custard.
fuck off. Custard.
Is that Colonel Custard?
Colonel
Or-
custard. No? Pam, no?
No, you still got all pepper? She just wants to play with the dogs.
Yeah, I do.
All
I
right.
want all the dogs.
Well, brother, one thing I want to say before we get out, I don't want to get too much into it because I think we should wrap this up. But I wanted to get in. I wanted to let you know that on Netflix, if you're into action movies with kind of a cool, unique storyline, Old Guard on Netflix. It's a
Okay.
Netflix original. Charlize Theron.
Ooh,
Caught me by
I like Charlize Theron.
Me too, and it caught me very much by surprise.
Really?
It was a really excellent action movie with a really cool kind of storyline.
Ooh, I like
background.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you got anything else, brother?
I don't.
All right. Well, this is the Bastards of Bourbon. We're out of here.
Alla.
Stop and stop.